Right, speaking of horrific and travels to the UK, been a bit of a break between the last session and this, but we're back to the Michelin star run, and we're finally going to cook something. We've gone a staggering 75 days without even touching the pots and pans for the sake of cooking, but that turns around right now. Let's get to it. Yeah, for the past few weeks I've been... okay, there we go. Past few weeks I was in the UK, travelling around, seeing old friends and family, picking up a couple of new kilts. That was great, but now I'm back in glorious Hungary, and I can stream again. I'd brought my streaming equipment with me, but there was just no good opportunity for streaming. No time to myself. So, where are we at? What's going on? What indeed is going on? I don't know. Let's check. Judging by my health, yeah, that's right. This was right after my disastrous journey back here to our main base at Camp Office in Mystery Lake. We'd gone and looted a fair few places clean. We'd come back straight into a blizzard, and I thought, well, that's no problem. I know how to navigate Mystery Lake in a blizzard. Well, did I? Buggery. I got hopelessly lost. I lost almost all of my health. I was forced to use a stim, and even then I couldn't find shelter. And we progressed all the way across the map over to the dam before I was able to seek refuge. We're battered, our clothes are battered, but we have quite a lot of items, which is good because we need to use quite a lot of items for our cooking. And the time has finally come to actually get some cooking done and bring things over. So, what are our short-term plans here? Re-establish a camp office. Yep, we're going to do that. We're going to get much of our health back. Eat, drink, prepare no more water. And then we're going to make our meals for Desolation Point, Crumbling Highway, and possibly Coastal Highway. We'll check to make sure that we have all the gubbins for it and then do it. And then we are going to deliver it, and on top of that, I need to collect the Desolation Point recipe. I missed it when I was there. If you can remember all the way back to day 0, we spawned in Desolation Point. And why is it not on my recipe list? Ash Canyon, Forsaken Airfield, Bleak Inlet. Ah, here we go, Desolation Point, Lonely Lighthouse. I was even there and I never grabbed the recipe, so maybe it's a little out of where I can see. I also wanted to make sure that the mod settings were on. Yes, on. Very good. Jake, did you read about the other new settings? The fact that I'm hesitating on that tells me I don't know which settings you're talking about, but I do have a memory like a sieve, so that's maybe a given. Right, what's going on right now? I desperately need to get health back. I really need to eat and sleep. So, what am I thinking? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple bits of birch bark tea and some water. Going to drink up, going to rest up, and head out, see if there's anything to grab before we then do some repair work and sleep even more. That will cost me a match, but you know what? Boo-hoo, I think we can spare one of our ungodly number of matches. I don't think my incredible amount of matches is down to good luck. I think it's just bugged with the... or maybe bug's the wrong term, but the setup that this game has for custom mode I don't think is quite right in a number of ways. Contemplating grabbing a bit of reclaimed wood just to throw in here as well for some extra burning. But then I remember I have quite a few burnables still stuck around here, do I not? The toilet and meat scale. The toilet and meat scale. Don't know what you mean there, Von Douglas. Toilet. Oh, did you actually put in the toilet stuff? Oh man, oh man, oh man. Where is that? Where is that? Here we go. Toilet water, non-potable. Yes, excellent. This is a change we've been talking about for some time, but there it is. Toilet water is now finally non-potable, so you actually have a use for those little tablets that you find. And the meat scale? The meat scale. Ah, right. Yes, I did notice that earlier. I thought you meant the amount of meat that you get, but no, the meat scale is... right here. Little baby piece of meat. Considerably less baby piece of meat. Now you can actually tell at a glance which one has more calories than the other. This is a wee one with only 82 calories. This is a half kilogram of 480 calories. Very welcome change. We're not very hungry, but maybe I'll scoop up some of the smaller pieces. It's the kind of baby meat you get from a baby venison. Surely. How's it going? Been watching on YouTube for a good while. Hard to catch you live because of time zones. I appreciate that. And I'm on even earlier than normal today, because there were Nancy Drew related happenings, and there's no way I'm missing out on those. Alright, so grab some burnables and let's head on up. I am desperately short on water here. I got coal. I'm always a little loath to burn coal indoors, but nothing wrong with burning a bit of cedar. I used to call it cedar, but no, I've been informed that it is cedar. And that just sounds better as well. Also welcome Tormuz and Raiders. You know, timing on that is never right. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Where are my torches? Do I truly have no torches? On the run that we have here, pulling torches is not something that one can do. But it looks like I don't have any. Alright, I guess I will take the chance at 95% starting a fire. Base... No, fire starting base... Ah, I see. I'm not even reading this properly now, am I? Let's get it going. It's 3 AM. I'm usually out by now. Out for the count or out doing stuff at 3 AM? Perhaps we don't want to know. Came here for my own interloper run. Picked you out of a random lot to raid, says Tormuz. Well, random is the way I like to go. So welcome. The whole aspect of this run is cooking up a set of meals for each location and bringing them over, but we're playing on settings that are above and beyond interloper, courtesy of the power of modding. Von Dougals has put together a quality of life mod that also increases the difficulty in a lot of ways, but a lot of ways I find very enjoyable. Right, make this birch bark. I'm going to drink one, keep the other, go to sleep because we are desperate for some of this health back. Our health regeneration is severely nerfed, but it still exists. This is no dead man run. Get you done, get you done. We've got an hour on here, so let's see if we can make an hour worth of water in each of these, because heavens knows I need a bunch of water. 32, hour 6, that should be plenty for that. And if we just drink up our birch bark tea for the water, for the calories, for the healing, and then we should still have some water available. Let's just drink up as much as we can and then sleep up. And then I need to triage a bunch of my belongings. Looking at the time, I should be good for sleeping for about 4 hours. I know it's better to sleep for longer, but there's things I need to do today. His quality of life improvements include having a separate button for lighting torches. If you mean you don't like it when you accidentally waste a match on a torch, then kind of. It prompts you before you light the torch, asking you what you'd like to use for it, even if you only have one way of lighting a torch, so you don't accidentally left click and start a fire. But there is also separate interact, so there are separate buttons for doing certain things. It is a mess in here. Boy, I wish they'd released the DLC feature to actually customize your safe room so I could maybe clear away some of the garbage. The thing is, I want a lot of my goods out on display, but you cannot put expired food into a cupboard, or food that will expire into a cupboard, because when it expires in a cupboard, it disappears outright. So, what do I need to leave behind? First, I suppose I can go into this cabinet, which holds the weird little items like this, so I can shove away my acorns, I can put my acorn grounds away, my cooked acorns, because I'm pretty sure those never expire. Any other things like that? Do I have any rose hips or mushrooms? I got quite a lot of birch bark. I'm going to transfer some of my prepared stuff over there. It's not exactly heavy, but I do like to have different things in different locations. Also, that's far too many rose hips. I just transfer all of those and maybe keep I don't know, 24 on my person. I've got wires and whetstones. What else do I have lying around here? I've got cattail stalks, which I don't have any on my person, but that's okay. That's certainly okay. start rebuilding our collection of water. Heavens knows we need some of that. And yes, a big old triage, because I do need to go back and get the items that are left behind, but probably not tonight. I don't really want to go out on an expedition until Shepard is feeling a whole lot better. There's a can opener there. Do I need the can opener for my menu here? Got to remember that I'm going over to Desolation Point, Crumbling Highway, and Coastal Highway. Coastal Highway does not need it. Crumbling Highway does not need it. And Desolation Point does not need it. I believe we bought this back because there was a recipe that called for another can opener. Never need to use can openers now that we have a knife. A knife can be used to open cans anyway. No calorific loss. Just thinking about things to leave behind. Matches, for example. Comes a point in a man's life when he has to admit he has too many matches. I'm also trying to remember the layout of where I've dumped a lot of my stuff. Normally my bases would be a lot more organized than this, that's for sure. Get rid of like 20 of my matches. Heavens knows I don't need those. And I don't need 2 magnifying lenses, so I'll also leave one of them behind in here. Other things to leave behind. Gonna ditch these painkillers. Water purification tablet. I guess I could keep you on me if I find a toilet. Now this actually has a use, doesn't it? I like keeping my stims on me. All these clothes I'll keep, and I do want to repair. It's this food that really needs to be ditched. The carrots, the tates. I like keeping salty crackers on me, but really 1 should be sufficient. It's amazing traveling food. Tins of sardines, those can go. There's moldy venison I plan on eating. The stale beef jerky can also just hit the ground. And then, yeah, see what I mean? I'm running real low on space for my stuff. This is where Conset is really good, I think. Given all the bare shelves that Conset has, it's really good for just putting your goods on display. Shove some more taties over here. This is basically where we're keeping all of our different food supplies so that when it comes to cooking up all the meals for the different regions, we can create them here. Or if we, for some reason, don't want to create them here, we can at least grab the resources. But Mystery Lake is such a great central position that I find it's just a wonderful place to keep all the goods at. As we can see on the world map, Mystery Lake's nice and central for reaching just about everywhere. It's only really Black Rock and Ash Canyon, and I suppose Timberwolf Mountain that you could consider laboriously far away from here. Nice food collection. Oh, I'm used to it. When we did our merchant run, we stockpiled a whole lot more goods than this, and it was a lot more varied as well. I still load up that save from time to time to just admire it. Unfortunately, it's a little cursed. If I load up that save and then load up another save, I break the other save's calendar. Yeah, this calendar right here, the one that you see and you click on these different things, it breaks if I load that save and then load another save. Heavens knows why. I'm not willing to file a bug report on it because it'll be one of those old incompatible save issues. Right, that is that, and Shepard still needs to sleep tonight, but what I really need to do is repair my clothes. They took a damn beating when I was stuck out in that snowstorm, thinking I was going to die. Fortunately, bear coats are made of sterner stuff. They didn't take too much damage. And the aviator cap is also pretty stern, only taken 30% over all the time that I've used it. But I would like to repair my rabbit mittens. I'd like to repair both of my thermal undies, and I really need to repair my wolfskin trousers. And my boots. So that's going to be gut, deer hide, rabbit pelt, and then we're going to go over here and do that. I have some decent-ish water. Despite the decent-ish water, I think I'm still going to drink another one of my birch bark teas. There we go, and let's get to work with the repairs. Although thinking about it, do you repair at a workbench or do you just repair standing where you are? I think you do just do it where you are. Oh, you only repair 30% of the trousers and it takes an hour 30. Scary stuff. Well, I'm not willing to spend longer by using an improvised sewing kit. Let's use a real one. And let's pray that we don't get that 15% chance of failing, because if you fail a repair job, you lose the goods that you invested in it as well. An hour 16 to do you. Think we could do that? We over repair by 3%, but you know what? That is fine by me. It's getting dark, but Shepherd can still work her needle. And would you look at that, we actually level up mending, one of the hardest skills in the game to level up. And we finally got it to level 3. Level 3 is a nice big boost up, 75% chance of successful repair, so it's very unlikely that we fail now. Faster and better condition decrease. Getting mending to level 4 and 5 is a pipe dream, especially for this run. It is, I think it's the slowest thing to level up in the entire game. And it's also the more frustrating to level up. Fire starting so close to level 4, but level 5 is where it's at. That makes your fires last an incredibly long time. We got the water, we got the meat, so let's get some sleep. I don't think I've ever done a run where I get level 5 in everything. I don't think so. Right, what are we doing right now? Let's eat up, just a wee touch. Or do I even need to? I got 700 odd calories in my belly. So what I could probably do is just drink as much water as I can. Yum, yum, yum. Sleep for 8 hours. Hey, Von Dougall's made this button say 8 instead of 10. That's nice. Anything I need to check? I'm very paranoid. I don't want to accidentally sleep and take damage. Because I'm so horrifically injured after our mauling by the blizzard. Yeah, toilet water being non-potable is something that we've dreamed of for some time, and now it's finally a reality. Now I'm going to eat, because now I'm incredibly thirsty. Good to eat food that makes you thirsty when you're already incredibly thirsty, because you can't get more thirsty. Yum, 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 Shepherd. In fact, we've got more disgusting rancid meat out there. I'll take a very quick sip, just to not take condition damage, and I'm going to pop out and eat my meat. And since there is an aurora, I can actually work in this light.
I'll do anything.
It was an insanely easy to do mod, says Dougals. He's strutting his stuff. Feels like minus 18 even under all my clothes, but man is it beautiful when there's an aurora. Right, any more small bits of meat, or is it all reasonably sized? It all looks rather reasonably sized to me. There's moldy rabbit and stuff. There we go. Did you get the buffer memory? I'm not very interested in those, but I'm pretty sure I've already got the computer screen stuff. I don't go for all the caches and notes and things like that. I prefer to make my own goals. Right, let's fill that belly of yours, Shepherd. This might all be horrible, rancid, moldy meat, but we have the level 5 eating skill. I'm pretty sure you couldn't reasonably consider it a cooking skill. It's all about eating that mold. Probably extra calories. Yeah, level 5 cooking, that's the real in-game quality of life. You might reasonably think that it cuts out a bit too much of the game, so that your food now lasts practically forever. But I think once you get into the late game, having to scutter for your foods, it's more pain than it's worth. Right, in this light we can... yeah, fix up the thermal undies. And I do have cloth, apparently. I wasn't even aware that I still had cloth. I still have more things to triage, but I can do that in the morning light. I have 2 bits of cloth. And I got 2 cloth things I want to repair. How serendipitous. Over-repairing, not my problem. Get to work, Shepherd. I wouldn't normally be able to do this because it's too dark, but the aurora is providing me with the unnatural light. There we go, we lost quite a lot of our insulation and heat thanks to the battering of the blizzard, but now it should be a lot better, up to 27. I think we max out at about plus 30 if everything's in full condition. But this is a perfectly acceptable condition. Is it though? Tooks give quite a lot of warmth and it only costs cloth to repair. Guess the offset there is that I don't have any cloth to repair it with. Let's change that. Take 2 because I like to have 1 on me. Oh, I never repaired my mittens, did I? Yeah, let's take care of that. Not bad. And yeah, we'll do this as well. Excellent. So that's quite a bit of our health back. A whole load of our clothes nice and repaired. Don't think I need to deal with a thin wool sweater, but maybe I will anyway. It's really good. Now it's light enough that I can work even without the aurora, but I'll probably just head back to bed anyway. Where's that drawer of mine? Give me another bit of cloth, because I always like to have some emergency cloth. And gonna just go back to bed until I can see again. Triage the rest of my stuff, and then I think now I should be able to go out and journey back for the goods that I left behind. Yes, we have yet more we need to grab. Good thing I can navigate in the dark so well. Right, yeah, there's my bed. Good luck with your run, why thank you. Luck is certainly a factor, although it is outweighed by preparedness. Alright, easy money. We can see. We feel relatively healthy. Our belly could always be fuller. Chow down on that rancid wolf meat, please. The only thing is I'm a touch low on water, but we can live with that. What I need to do is triage my belongings a fair bit before heading out. There are a lot of cured guts here, a whole lot more than I need, so drop, drop, drop. Drop them all, drop, drop. I got a load of birch saplings, which are splayed out like this. I considered turning off the no stick north so that my goods actually drop a lot more arrangedly, but I really like the fact that I simply cannot stick north, which is a way of using a stick to divine your cardinal direction. So I'm happy enough for the mess. Any of this relevant? Yeah, I got cured rabbit pelts that I don't need. I just keep them here. There's no real point in keeping them scattered throughout Great Bear. I don't think my clothes will ever get so tattered that I simply must repair them and it can't just wait until I come back here, because we do stop back here fairly often. I need to be quite brutal with what I get rid of. Also, see these wolf pelts? They actually no longer have a use. Since I was planning on making a wolf jacket, but I ended up making a second bear jacket, which is largely better, so I'm just going to leave it there. There is an argument for doing a fishing trip, and it's a pretty strong argument. I don't know what my vitamin C levels are, but it could be quite low, given that we haven't been eating much fish since we were here ages ago. Right. I need to lose a lot of weight, so I'll be ditching as much of this stuff here as I can, and I can decide what comes with me later on. There's no real need for me to have tools on my person anymore. Not that I can think of. Can you think of anything I'd need tools for? Generally, I want tools when working at a workbench, and if I'm working at a workbench, I'm working back here. And if I really need tools, well, there are ways to get those. They actually show up in beachcombing. Leave the arrow shafts over here. I can come back to them later. What about the fuses and things? See, I got fuses and wires, but have I left them here anywhere? I'm sure I've been piling them up somewhere. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to doing the signal void stuff. Hey, more of my matches. Keep my matches over here. I know it can seem a bit laborious sometimes, all the faffing around with the items that I do, but keeping them well arranged out here is a bit of a big deal in my opinion. Right, certainly don't need these fuses on my person, nor these wires, so away they go. Whetstones, how are my tools looking? Tools are in tip-top shape, so I can happily leave behind a whetstone. I'll leave behind the poor condition, the good condition one rather. There we go. I like a nicely organized area here, although I appreciate some people think, go on Jake, get out, go and play the game. Not yet. This heavy hammer I do want to put to some use, but I can't be carrying heavy things for what I'm about to do. I actually need to be fairly brutal with what I drop down. I need a fair amount of space on me. It's the best part of the game, says Tarkin. Ah, see, that's the spirit. Do I have anything even remotely heavy that I want to leave behind? I guess I could leave behind all my sticks. Well, I say all of them. I try to never be without one stick. And otherwise, I'll just leave on here a few things that I want to pick up the moment I'm back, but don't need them currently. Ooh, wow, that's a lot of mushrooms that I've got on me. Hold that thought. Now we're just under here, huh? Get rid of those mushrooms, I don't want them. Not on me right now, I could do without the weight. Otherwise, I'm going to leave behind the knife. I'm going to keep the hatchet because it's a really good way of fighting off predators. And I don't exactly need 2 stones. Do I need my travois? I think I will actually leave the travois, although I can't actually drop it indoors, can I? How many kilograms of stuff did I leave behind? I think it was about 20, so I don't actually think I need the travois. That said, maybe it's better to just keep on me anyway. Yeah, I could put it in a container. I'm contemplating that. It's funny how small a container I can shove a travois into. In fact, for the laugh of it, we've made an incredibly ultra-portable travois that just crams into the first aid kit. Alright. Let's get going. I want to bring back the rest of my stuff over here. It's a nice enough day, and I should have my mag lens, so if it's mag lens weather, then I could mag lens something up. Then again, what if I find a deer and I want to travois it back? That's not unthinkable. You know what, the travois offers me more options than not having it gives, so I think I will take it. Drink up and on we go, shepherd. I've got 2 bits of meat that I'll probably leave behind as well. Again, I could do without the added weight. What's the drop meat button? 3, okay. Wow, lovely day. Truly lovely day. Wait, I need my bearings here. Which way am I going? I think I'm going this way. Yeah, that feels about right. I really need to make some more arrows, so I'll certainly be doing that before I leave as well. Feels like I just constantly give myself things to do that isn't doing the goal of this run. That does amuse me slightly, but only slightly. Okay, I did drop the stones. I like to keep 1 stone on me. Only feels like -9 degrees. It's another lovely day here at Mystery Lake. And we have space for over 20 kilos of stuff that we're going to be picking up, and we will be picking it up. So I'm grabbing sticks, not because I want to weigh myself down even more, but if I come into a situation where I really want to start a fire, I want the sticks to do so. Then you might say, why did you even leave the sticks behind in the first place? Well, it adds to the pile, and I knew I'd be finding sticks on my journey anyway. High chance I'll be finding some birch bark as well. Birch bark is always welcome. Such an amazing good. It warms you, it feeds you, it waters you, it heals you, and it has a small amount of vitamin C. I believe if you drink 3 cups of birch bark tea a day, you almost completely annul the vitamin C deficiency. I think you lose 20 a day on Interloper. Vitamin C value, that is, out of your storage of 500. That's invisible. So you lose 20 out of 500 a day, but each cup of birch bark gives you back 6. So 18 coming back, you only lose 2 a day. Take you hundreds of days to have scurvy. Not that we've seen any indication of it, but we have eaten our fair share of processed foods, which tend to have a good amount of vitamin C in them. But you never know. I've actually been searching for a console command to display your vitamin C, not because I want to use it in the run, but just out of curiosity. I do like to test things in games. Very often I fire up games and when I'm not on stream and just tinker around with them. Trying to see what works, how it breaks. That's how I get my jollies. That's right, even when I'm not playing games on stream, I fire up and play games in my own time as well. What a life I lead. Sorry, but I missed the start. What's the goal of today's run? We're cooking things. Very specifically, we're going to cook up a large meal for each location in the game. And today we are going to cook up the meals for Desolation Point Coastal Highway and possibly Crumbling Highway. I'm only going to be live for a few hours today, so I better get my rear in gear regarding that. I brought my sleeping bag, right? Good, good. I had intentionally kept that on me, despite its 1.1 kilogram of weight. Are you still missing recipes? Yes, I am, but we're going to get one of them over in Desolation Point. I think that's the fish cakes that I'm going to get there. Despite it being absurdly warm, Shepard is complaining about the cold. One thing I think would be nice is if you're wearing... Ooh, temptation to kill, but it's not big enough. I'm not short on food. That said, food goes away faster than you think, but for getting food, I think what I'll do is a fishing trip, now that I have the heavy hammer. The heavy hammer is the best for doing fishing with, because it can be repaired a lot easier. You can repair a heavy hammer simply with a piece of wood. Not any old wood, I forget if you need cedar or the other kind of wood, but one of them's fine. Lovely and peaceful, and this is one of the nicer places in Mystery Lake, despite it being where I just about got myself killed during the last run. Yeah, someone was asking on a scale of 1 to 10 how anxious was I feeling during yesterday's trek through the blizzard, and I started out saying, oh, I'm not worried, and I was like, okay, maybe 4 out of 10. And I think it went all the way up to 7 or 8 out of 10 in terms of, oh god, I'm gonna die. There was a wolf over there. Never normally see wolves this far over. I could make that wolf hunt that deer for me. Ah, okay. I mean, I could also kill the wolf myself. I have replaced the mouse that I have complained bitterly about with a glorious Logitech G502 Hero. Logitech mice are so good, if only they didn't double-click with their cheap Chinesium switches. But they do. Hopefully this one lasts a while before it starts giving me the old double-clickies. Oh, hang on. Maybe I could hunt that deer after all, but... Oh wow, there's a pair of them as well. Okay, I think he lost me. Never mind that though, I don't want to take any cold damage, so let's get in here. Let's get some light. Let there be light, let there be life, and look at all these supplies I left behind. Yum, 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 yum. Peaches, flour, oil, maple syrup, coal, my skillet, my pots, my salt, my oats, my soup, my granola, and loads of soda. There we go. It's fine being under 5 kilos overweight. In fact, it's better than fine. It's not half bad. Absolutely full of goods on this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep for 1 hour, both for the energy and to warm up a touch. 1 hour. Out we go. Keychron makes mice as well. Maybe those can be an alternative. Never tried one. I'm extremely happy with this mouse and I don't want to change it out. It just feels like it fits to my hand like a glove. Well, a glove made for me. Alright, the weather has remained good. I am more than a little tempted to grab a deer, but... I don't know. I have gone and loaded up a fair amount. There's no real need for it, I suppose. I guess I'll just head on back. It's very warm, though. Warm to the extreme. It's fine being slightly overweight. I tell myself that every day, says Athelwyn. Oh, hang on. Stop eating that deer. Well, I wasn't intending on doing this, but if the game is going to simply throw this deer at me, it would be rude not to accept. Also, this should get me fire starting level 4, which means all of the things I burn on a fire last considerably longer. That's the real benefit to high-level fire starting. It's not the fire starting chance, that's not really a big deal, but making your burnables burn for longer is a huge deal. Sticks only burn for about 7 minutes at the start of the game, but if you have fire level 5, they last for about 11 minutes. That's big numbers. There we go, fire starting expert, that sounds like me. Where are we at? Fire starting. Fires last 25% longer, that's a whole lot more. And this was a very, very chunky deer. Look at that, 12 kilos of meat. I would be a fool to leave this behind. And I am no fool. So, oh wow, I had 2 cooking pots? No, those were cooking pots that I found in the placey place. Tell you what, make me a hefty amount of water. And whilst you're watering up, I'm going to take this meat. I'll probably leave the meat behind, but there's no way I'm not taking this with me. Just give me all of the meat, literally all of the meat. Yeah, twisted fire starter Soviet, what can I say?
I can barely walk with this.
Being able to get all of the usable meat out of a beast in, what was that, a little over an hour? Pretty damn good, Shepherd. Give me the water, give me the more water. Do I want its hide and guts? I could actually do with a hide. I used up a bunch of hides back home. How about you make me another wee batch of water? Something's weird. I could swear that cooking skill never made water boil faster, but I feel like it's boiling faster. Loads of time on that campfire. Give me the hide, but not the guts. I got loads of guts. I have loads of hides as well, but hides are harder to come by. Maybe I'm imagining things. I do often do that, which is to say imagine things. It's really not unthinkable to deploy the travois and bring all this meat back. No point taking it with me if I don't put it to use, right? I can just throw 4 liters of water into the thing. No harm, no fuss, right? And let's throw over some other things that are just weighing me down. Things like this skillet, and I guess that deer hide. But I was also thinking about the coal. Yeah, coal is heavy, man. Take my coal. Take a bunch of my sticks as well. And suddenly I'm relatively light. Water, water, pot, pot. Leave the campfire. Put in the pot, the oil, anything heavy really. Anything heavy that doesn't go off, I might add. And where's that water of mine? Take another couple liters of water. I myself will drink up the rest of what I have, and let's go. Cooking skill taught you how to put the pan closer to the fire and boil it. Ooh, that sounds advanced. Alright, Shep, let's go. I think he got spooked by me wearing the bearskin coat. Also, is that a moose or a deer over there? I think it's a deer. Looks too small to be a moose. I was planning on just walking back, carrying all of my items, but the opportunity to bring the meat back in the travois was too desirable. I'm not very experienced moving with a travois though, so word to the wise, this could go wrong in a number of ways. Is that a wolf over there? Or is it simply a wolf-shaped rock? Yeah, it means I cannot eyeball hills that I can crest with the travois. And your movement's really limited, you turn really slowly on it. I feel like I may have met my match with this crest. No, we're good. Okay. Tell you what, how about you just come with me, and I'll just trudge down here with you. Well, I regret this already. Alright, alright. Can I get you back out then? Alright, come on, let's move. Need to manually haul that over the worst of the hill. Good thing it's warm. We're gonna start getting tired quite soon. Yeah, we're out of the worst of it though. We can see the train tracks over there. Problem with the travois is that I can't go and just grab every stick on the ground, but I feel compelled to. Look at all those burnables I'm leaving behind. How could I do such a thing? Come to me, sticks, sticks, sticks. Sticks. There we go. That'll satisfy me for a little while. What does it take to repair the travois again? I think it's 1 gut, 1 deer hide. I find the travois takes damage really rather quickly when travelling with it. The reason I'm rather obsessed with sticks at the moment, more so than most, is because I'm thinking about how I want to go fishing. Not that I want to go fishing, I find that tip-up fishing in the game is rather unpleasant, but I could do with the calories and the vitamin C, so it's probably something I'm going to be doing before I leave Mystery Lake. Well, maybe not. Thinking about it, I don't truly need the calories, especially after having grabbed all of this deer meat. And I'm heading over to coastal areas, which should contain a decent number of fish just sitting on the ice for me to take through beachcombing. So I should be alright, actually. Yeah, till when I've been on my dietary regime for almost 6 months now. So yes, no longer saying it's fine to be slightly overweight, and I'm not slightly, but it's been doing wonders for me. That's more than 40 pounds shed now this year, with more to go. But that's not the main point. The main point is that it's actually been quite fun. And my friend said to me, I bet you're finding it fun because you've turned it into a game. He knows just how much I love my games. And he's probably not wrong. I should write a book about it. Did we remove all the completed ones from the list? Yes! All 0 completed ones have been removed from the list. Because I've been handling this challenge absurdly slowly. If I were to reverse the clock and redo this from scratch, what I should have done was make it more step by step. So I had to do these easy menus in order to unlock the ability to go to other regions, things like that. Because with the run as it is now, there's no excuse me, there's no reason for me to do anything other than the cooking last. Because the more other things I do, the easier the cooking gets. Alright, there we go. It's hard to fault just how good the travois is for bringing loads of goods from A to B. Even my sourpussing doesn't change that. It might still be possible for me to make a fire right now. Well, that is to say a fire using the mag lens. Yeah, there we go. I'm doing this because cooking up these goods would be a good idea.
Come on, little fire.
And it's better to have your fire outside than inside most of the time, because the fire will last longer. Maybe I shouldn't have put it right here in the open, because if wind comes along, it's going to blow this thing out. But this run has been strangely lacking in wind in general. Actually, no, forget I said that, because...
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
You know, whenever you say that, it goes, oh, have I? Slacking, you say?
I can drop any of this gear.
Give me all of that. Even give me the coal in case I want to use that. Tonk. Tonk. 1, 2. And 1. And 2. Kind of scary doing all this cooking without any oil, but I guess the implication is that we have some fat off the beasts. That campfire's going to last a good long time, but there's no need to add any more to it just yet. Come with me, Travoy. Let's get inside and move around some goods. It's still light enough to do so. Excellent. In that case, let's ditch down some food over here. Oh boy, there's a lot of food to ditch. Alright, well that's some of it over here. Ditch all the tinners over here. And ditch some of the cooking stuff over here. River oats, salt, salt, salt. And the sodas. Da 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 da. And ditch one of the tins of coffee. I really thought coffee was going to be a problem for this run, but we found so much coffee, and I've already drank a ton of it as well. I think I'll take one of those. Got some burning to do outside. And I neglected to drop some of my cans, it seems. Someone was lambasting me for calling them tins. Something along the lines of tin hasn't been used for tins for many years. I don't know, I don't pay attention to these kinds of things. I just like the term tinner. Christmas tinner. Wouldn't be Christmas without your tinner. Did I take all of the coal, or do I keep coal? Yeah, I keep coal in the bottom one. Okay, okay. 4 bits of coal is good to keep on me. Otherwise, this seems pretty good, and I'm really rather underweight. What a time to be alive. Let's go and get that meat cooked up. Let's have a good night's sleep, and then we have got some cooking to do and traveling to do. Is there anything to do whilst I'm sitting by the fire here? Possibly. Especially, excuse me, if I have my proper goods. Where did I ditch my items? That's all I left behind here. Do I want my hammer? Maybe. Do I want my tools? Maybe not. Alright. Give me the venison, give me the venison, give me the more venison, and cook it up. And we have more triaging to do out here, but I want to do it when I'm outside next to the fire. Travoy of mine. Oh good, there wasn't much left in you anyway. It's a good thing transitions are super fast in this game. Could you imagine if this game had horrifically slow loading times? Like, I don't know, Rune Factory 5? There we go. You just unceremoniously dry with your dried friends. I have my whetstone. I think it's a damaged one. Not that there's a lot of sharpening to be done. Not a lot of much to be done, really. How many skillets does that make? 1, 2, 3. Is this my moose meat? Yeah, good, good. I need that moose meat for a recipe. Hopefully it was just 1, but I feel like it was more than 1. Good, let's eat some of this rancid food. No sense not just using our stomach as another storage location. Meat is heavy, And it's actually not that calorifically dense, not compared to something like some crackers or some peanut butter. Had some peanut butter myself not too long ago. It was Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Peanut Butter. I do like peanut butter, I don't eat a ton of it. I was overcome with curiosity to give it a go, and you know what? It's not very good. Wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but won't come running back for it. Keep our knife nice and sharp. I actually ordered up a whetstone myself. Never tried using a whetstone, but figure I'll give it a go. Ooh, ptarmigan down's needed for repairing you. I don't keep you around for your warmth. I really just keep you around because you unlock the ability to sleep anywhere, and that is valuable in itself. But I would get the full repair amount out of it. How long would it take to repair? 45 minutes. Why, that's the time I need to cook some venison. Maybe not that small piece of venison, or at least a smaller piece of venison. Not yet, at least. Yeah, these things don't give me oil either. Question, shouldn't the Michelin star chef be using fresh meat for these recipes? Yeah, I am using fresh meat. I mean, it just becomes a little less fresh over time, but I can't be held responsible for all these things. Give me a few bits of that cloth, please. I think this fire is starting to lose its zest. I'll just use sticks for now. And let's get this thing repaired. Please don't let me down. 15% chance of failure, and then I would lose all that ptarmigan down.
The sun is setting.
Thank goodness.
It'll get a lot colder soon.
The idea that a whole deer will keep you satiated only for a couple of days. Mind-boggling. And yet, we cannot take torches from a campfire. That's another thing I should craft. Another couple of torches. But we are good, we are set. After all, one of the goals for today was to re-establish a camp office, and I feel fairly re-established. We've resupplied on water and calories. We have triaged our items. Will I be heading out tomorrow? I do need to make more arrows, but I could spend the morning making arrows, then take a little rest and then get moving in the afternoon. Always best to be outdoors in the afternoon, it's the absolute warmest. Morning is the coldest, not even the dead of night, it's mornings that are so cold in this game. 22 minutes, 22 minutes. Is there anything else I could conceivably do? Making a new bow is probably actually a good idea as well. This one's dying on me and I'd hate for it to snap and me having no bow. Actually, 43% will be fine. I think it'll be fine for the journey back. Anything, shepherd. Need to ditch my oil back inside. Otherwise, I think I'll be good to go getting back in. Wait, I can make 3 prepared birch bark? Since when do I have 7 birch? Oh, right, I thought that said 2. I got 7 of them on me. Well then, don't mind me. Birch bark is good. Birch bark is great. It's burning here. This is the kind of situation that a book somewhat calls for, but that's one thing I don't have. Clothes are all in good nick. Or good enough nick. You know, ever since you sent me that mock-up Von Dougals, I've really wanted to see the bars here for condition. Kinda do want to repair my aviator hat, but I don't have cured leather. Cured leather is pretty easy to find if you're in a coastal area though. It washes up on the coast pretty readily. So I'm not too worried about that. Well, when am I ever worried? Come on, who do you think you're talking about? Cooked, cooked, drop, drop, take, cook, and cook. And yes, I'm well aware that I'm actively taking thirst damage here. That is on purpose because I want to eat up some more moldy food. And I like to do that whilst I am incredibly thirsty. There we go. That way I don't waste even more water. That part is finished. I started on other feed. What's your ratio of modding time to playing time? Yeah, maybe I don't want to know. Alright, there we go. A lovely big batch. More birch bark, more better. More birch bark, more better, he says, although there does come a point where you don't really need that much more. I'll make some herbal tea, though. Oh, and maybe I should prepare a cup of coffee. Coffee is just such an amazing get-out-of-jail-free card. Haunted by wolves, getting too tired, overburdened, unable to run. Coffee is the one good in this game which gives you warmth, energy, hydration, and calories. I don't think anything else does. Certainly can't think of anything else that does. Come to me coffee, come to me herbal tea. Alright, we're good. You got 993 hours in this game. Holy moly. Let me tab into Steam for a moment. I have got half of that. Under half of that. Alright, more triaging can wait. It is the dead of night. Let's get our 8 hours of sleep. On Interloper you can sleep for 10 hours in a row without taking damage, but on these Ultraloper settings you cap out at... Oh, hang on. Do I want herbal tea or birch bark tea? I don't think I want both. I'll take the herbal tea. Herbal tea is going to improve my rest for the night. My last remaining achievement is all skills level 5. Oh, God. If you didn't hate mending already, you'll hate it after that. You'll just be leaving socks in a blizzard, hoping that they take damage. Alright, now I think I'll have that birch bark tea. Wash it all down. Oh wow, not a lot to wash it down with. That's alright, I've made spare water. Sleep for another hour, shepherd. So yeah, I don't think I'll make the bow, but I need the arrows. Do that, sleep up, and then we're going to cook up and get moving. Hopefully, there's enough time to do all that cooking up and still get moving. Currently have 5 arrows, I think. Yeah, 5. How many arrowheads does this guy have? Seven arrowheads. Wow, I made more than I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4 shafts. 1, 2, 3, 4 heads. And surely I have loads of feathers already. Not as many as I need. Just give me a whole bunch of them. I'll put them back when I'm done. Simple arrow. Please make me simple arrows. Use my glorious tools and spend 2 hours making 2. 1.5 hours making 2. Then I'll need a drink. Need a drink. Good thing I'm not playing Deadman, or else I'd be berating every single bit of damage that I take doing this. Deadman's just not for me. That completely removes your ability to regenerate health. That sounds like anti-fun to me. Not so much for doing things like this, but when going outside, you are constantly stopping to make fires. I've seen people play this, and they're very good at it. But the tedium of constantly stopping and making more fires to warm up, because even a tiny lick of cold damage will do you. And so you're stopping to make a fire when you still have a quarter of your heat left. Ah, well, more power to them for enjoying it. Still, now I have 9 arrows. Feeling a lot more secure like that. Still has some of this oil to ditch. Don't want to be carrying around oil, it's very heavy. And I'm not the kind of person that travels with 2 cooking pots. Okay, I'm running out of space for all my stuff here. And to think this is a large area. It'd be tighter if I was in the trapper's cabin. Okay, let's consider our movements now. Well, won't be moving diddly until I have my food cooked, so I better do that. A no-go start requires absolute map knowledge. Oh, heavens, yes. No one gets out alive. Well, you can live no-go indefinitely, but would you want to? I wouldn't want to. Okay. Well, I've been putting this off for the entire run, but it's time to get cooking. I can happily say that I've re-established a camp office. Desolation Point, Crumbling Highway. I don't have to do Coastal Highway, and the reason is that Desolation Point and Crumbling Highway are in a bit of an appendix here. You're only going there if you're explicitly going there. You do Coastal Highway if you're heading towards Pleasant Valley, if you're taking the Ravine route. And it also mixes in with Bleak Inlet well, so you could easily just do this batch in one go. Meaning I don't have to do Coastal Highway, but Desolation Point and Crumbling Highway are the main important ones here. So what do we need for... Let's look at Desolation Point first. Desolation Point wants a Summit Soda and a maple syrup. Okay. I should probably look at the cooked things first, shouldn't I? 2 lily pancakes, 2 pancakes, 2 acorn pancakes. Okay. Okay. I think I need to use skillets for making pancakes, so skillet, come with me. I need to look at my recipe list for this. I'm not even sure if I've done any cooking in this game outside of little test runs. So what was it? Pancakes, pancakes, and pancakes. So I need oil, water, peaches, acorn grounds. Must be flour here, right? What? You can make pancakes with just oil, water, syrup, and... Oh, well, the acorn grounds are there. Here we go. You use acorn as the flour, but here we use flour. I don't have a lot of acorn stuff, though, do I? I got 1 lot of acorn grounds, meaning I need more acorns. Just give me all the acorns. I'll figure this out. And I believe you make acorn grounds using the heavy hammer. Chunk. I have plenty of calories and plenty of water to spend time figuring this all out, so that's okay. But I know I need some flour, I know I need some maple syrup. Ruined is still okay for that. I needed some peaches. Grab some more peaches just in case. Anything else? Acorn grounds, maple syrup, the water. I didn't grab the cooking oil, I think. Grab the cooking oil. Maybe grab another batch of peaches. Maybe another 2 batch of peaches. And where's that oil of mine? Okay, okay. Does that sound like everything we need? Alright, that's enough maple syrup for all of them. Should be enough water and oil and flour. So the only thing I need to make sure I have more of are acorn grounds. Okay, now I think cooking up acorns requires quite a bit of water. Let's just take all the water that we have. We can always make more if we need to. And I will need to burn a whole lot for this. I got my firewood and I got my coal. I have no problem using coal inside. Not when I got this much coal, it's fine. Although, maybe I should also consider the other cooking thing I want to do. I don't want to have to stop and then relight my fire. Crumbling Highway wants, well, we have that. 3 more loads of pancakes. 3 pancakes and 2 bannocks. Also bear meat. Well, I don't have that to hand, do I? Stalker's pie, coastal fish cakes. Right, actually, so I cannot do this because I don't have coastal fish cakes. I'm picking up that recipe in Desolation Point, so let's ignore that. Don't like the fact that it scrolls up to the top when I shift between them. I need to also make my bannock and venison. Well, I've got venison outside, don't I? Also, I could just capture venison at Crumbling Highway, but I think I'll take what I have with me. You want 2 cooked potatoes, 2 bannocks, and 3 pancakes. So I need pancakes, bannocks, and a couple of potatoes. Let's get this all done in one go. Where are my gammy old potatoes? Surely I've got gammier and older ones. Yeah, there we go. 2 potatoes. I need the making for 3 more regular pancakes. I have the flour, I have the oil. It does mean I'll need more maple syrup. Yeah, maple syrup I was kind of concerned of running out on. And 2 bannocks. A bannock is just oil, flour, and water, so we're good on that. Shouldn't need more oil. Shouldn't. Alright, we're cooking upstairs instead of downstairs because that's just 1 hob. This is 2 hobs. Calvin and Hobbes. And yeah, I can't use magnifying glass. Let's just... Hey, Fire Striker's 100% fire starting chance now, courtesy of our better fire starting skills. Even so, I'll take the 5% chance of failure and use a match. Because using a match reduces my carry weight. But using the Fire Striker does not. Fire Striker weighs the same amount regardless how many fires it can still strike.
Come on.
I forgot to prepare my acorns, didn't I? Yes, I did. Right, hopefully that's not a problem. I can... Why is skillet not on the radial? Alright, well, you know what? Eat this cedar whilst I think a little bit. I need to cook some bannocks. So, cook me a bannock. Wait, there's prep time? Oh no, I didn't agree to prep time. Oh, that cooks 2 bannocks. Huh. Interesting. Should I make another batch of bannocks or should I work on something else? Well, let's cook this potato. That gives me a bit of time to think. Yeah, it looks like you make 2 bannocks in one go. Interesting. It is. Use the mouse wheel in the pot. Ooh, interesting. Right. Right. How do I make these acorn grounds again? Here we go. I just use the heavy hammer. I have the ability to make 1 more of them. But I need to prepare more acorns, it seems. Any difference between bannocks and acorn bannocks? Probably a bit of a calorific difference. Alright, there we go. Was that 2 bannocks or 1? I did get 2 bannocks. Alright, sweet. Alright, since I clearly need time to think about this, cook me another potato, please. Just trying to think of Gladys saying, I'm a potato. Got the 2 bannocks. Now, how do I make acorn grounds? You need 1 large portion of them. Acorns, that is. Alright, so we have 1 cooked potato. Should I cook up my prepared acorns? I thought you merged the acorns into a bigger batch. Here we go. You can use 4 loads of acorns or 1 load, but what I can do is I can take my acorns and make them into a pack of them? Am I imagining things? It seems like I imagine a lot of things. Give me those acorns, give me that potato. How about we cook up one of our pancakes here? I need to make 2 loads of regular pancakes, right? But didn't you also want... Yeah, you want 3 pancakes, so I actually need to make 5 loads of pancakes. Alright then, pancake 1. This is... Wait, is this making 3 pancakes? No, surely not. Pancakes 2. Pancakes 3. Don't you burn on me. And don't you go out on me. And just a quick check when it comes to pancakes. Yeah, they are making 1 plate of pancakes. So that's our 3rd plate of pancake. Here's our 4th plate of pancakes. You can see why I waited until later in the game to be doing this. And then our 5th load of pancakes. So now pancakes are done. But then I need to make the other kinds of pancakes. Yoink. Don't you die on me. Take some coal if you must. It's nice to see the number on this one go down. They integrated that quite well, I must say. Need some more acorn grounds where I'm going. Go, heavy hammer, go. Alright, pancakes done. Thirsty shepherd, almost done. Now we need to make the acorn, but I don't have enough acorn grounds to be making acorn pancakes just yet. Lily's pancakes also need acorn grounds. Man, do I need a lot of acorns. I guess I need to prepare a whole load of acorns. Yeah, I should have spent time hammering these before I had my fire going. That was my mistake. Hopefully the fire here can forgive me. Don't want to cook up acorn coffee just yet. I need to prepare more acorns. And guess I need to grind these acorns some more. Boy, I'm not cut out for Canadian cooking, it seems. Right, now I can make both of the acorn pancakes. That's 1 batch of them. That's 2 batches of them. Now I just need to make Lily's pancakes. It's gone pancakes crazy here. For that I need to make more acorn grounds, but I also need to have more prepared acorns. I might let the fire go out and just prepare my acorns without this burning, because the matches are no big deal, but the burnables are a bit of a big deal. Also, this is taking much longer than expected. The day is almost gone. I'll be sleeping and then travelling tomorrow, it seems. How are we doing on water? I've been using a fair amount of it. Alright, give me those. Evidently, I need to prepare more acorns. Might as well prepare all of my acorns the way this is going. Alright, so to answer that question about the difference between bannocks and acorn bannocks. The acorn bannocks have, what's that, about 20% more calories? Same cooking skill, and it just uses acorns instead of flour. Both acorns and flour are finite. Once they're gone, so you won't be seeing more of it. There we go, move the acorns into large portions so that I can easier use them in the menu. Get thirsty as well. This is certainly chewing its way through my water, of which I didn't leave much behind. Make more acorn grounds and hope that that's enough. Peach and rosehip pies cause headaches. Must really not be all that American. Yeah, I don't know why they put headache in with this lovely food. Don't think I'd want to eat something if it gave me a headache. How many ground bits of acorn do I have? Only 1. Must be cooked prior to eating. Right, so I need to cook up both of these large things and then hammer them down. Then I should have everything I need for... oh, hang on. I myself am getting hungry. Who's to blame, you shepherd, after doing all this cooking? Fill that belly of yours. In this horrific blizzard. Man, feels all the better doing this cooking. Must feel really cozy being inside next to the fire cooking pancakes in this kind of weather. Yeah, I ran through that water in no time. So thinking about it, it's just Lily's pancakes to do. Is there anything else to cook? There's venison, but I have venison. And we already did the potatoes, and a cup of coffee is trivial to make on site. So yeah, it's just Lily's pancakes. Excellent. Go with my one stick left. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, Hermicide, I'm not quite sure that Shepard here has access to meth for cooking with.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
But who am I to say? Right, I need those acorns done. Acorns done some more. Then I'm going to make one more round of acorn grounds and then make a couple more loads of pancakes and we should be good to go. And look at that, we've got everything we need right here. No cooking skills in inventory, not my problem. We can see it right here. Didn't chew through all of that oil, far from it. Alright, nice. Let's hope we don't accidentally lose what we're making here. Gib, also make me a little touch of water, please, because I need a bit of time to crush these down. Yeah, just crush one of them down. See, I can make acorns into grounds, but I can't make grounds back into acorns. I don't know if anybody else wants just acorns in their food. Gib, and cook. Lily pancakes. 10 minutes to do. Gives a headache for some reason. Gives maximum condition for some reason. I don't know what use maximum condition is. Does it also heal you when it gives you that max condition? I could understand that being attractive. How do you get acorns in the middle of winter? They are buried under the snow next to the tree, so they've fallen off and you dig them out. Perfect for a day of climbing, apparently. Alright, that means I can take you and put you down, and then we can say... Woo, we can scroll through for skillet. Very cool. Is that a mod thing or a base game thing? 22 minutes left on you. That sounds like more water to me. So. 2 loads of acorn pancakes, 2 loads of lily pancakes, 5 loads of regular pancakes. That seems good to me. Got both of these pinnacle peaches left in excess. I need to pick up a few more of these things, but maybe I should strike... No, just make a mental note. We have the maple syrup. I'll grab a Summit soda and 2 other Summit sodas. Alright, should be good. I'll make doubly sure that I've got everything before I leave, but it looks like we'll be leaving tomorrow and not today because the sun has set and I don't feel like traveling, especially during that blizzard, in the middle of the night. In fact, maybe I could go down and make sure I'm grabbing what I need, which includes Summit sodas. How many was it? 1, 2, 3 Summit sodas. I don't have any on me, so 1, 2, 3 Summit sodas. I can make coffee on location. Because I got loads of coffee. Good coffee. I've got my tatties on me. Yep, 2 cooked tatties. And 2 times 200 gram cooked venison. I can give you larger chunks of venison, or I could eat it down to be 200 grams. That might be even better. You can get the chef's tooth marks in it. That adds a bit of flavour and pizzazz to my restaurant. It's a mod thing, and it might work for different bedrolls. Ah. Ron Dougal strikes again. Do I want more fire here? Yeah, I do. Give me an hour and a half on that. And now I've got 40 something minutes on you. Can I do that in 40 minutes? Yes, I can. Alright, there we go. Very nice. Time for a good night's sleep. It'll probably still be dark when we wake up, but I can deal with that. Drink up on the water and get yourself to bed, Shepherd. Ah, Aurora through the night. It's a good thing we were out grabbing our goods because cabin fever could be creeping up on us. I think I'll just take a small drink and go back to bed. Oh, right. I can't sleep anymore. Can't sleep, can't reasonably do anything in the dark. I guess I'm just passing time. Pass a couple of hours, sleep what's left. Not sleeping for 8 hours. You cannot sleep when you're not tired in interloper settings unless you have an affliction. There are specific afflictions. I don't know all the ones that work with it, but I think it's afflictions that require you to rest to get better. Then you can sleep. I know I'm thirsty, but that's all the more reason that I want to eat before I drink. Oh my lord, and I was thinking of going travelling now. Travel my way over to this fresh venison if you don't mind. Num 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 num. Delicious.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, and with a little baby bit of venison left over. Alright, keep that on you then. Just stay inside, no need taking damage in that blizzard. Alright, well it's bright enough to do work if I wanted to do work, but who wants to work? What I do want to do is leave behind some water and be ready for travelling. So let's triage and get ready to move. I want to keep some water on me. I know, there's constant triaging, but inventory management's a huge part of the game. So, I don't really want 5 coal on me, because we're going through some coal areas, so I'm happy to leave behind pretty much all but one of my coal. I'll keep 2 coal on me. That seems acceptable. All my medicines are fine. That said, I always like to carry 2 bandages on me. So let's create another pair of bandages. The reason I carry 2 bandages is because in a mauling you can end up with 2 bleeding things, and I don't like wasting any time making bandages when I'm actively bleeding. I'm happy to carry 3 on me, that's fine. Make sure that we get rid of our acorns into here. That's where they live. I don't need this oil on me. Bye-bye oil, bye-bye oil. Nice that we didn't even use all of one of those. Pancakes, potatoes, we needed, was it 1 load of maple syrup? 1 load of maple syrup, yes. So with that we have everything that we need, just don't drop the maple syrup. I don't need the rest of this flour on me. Nobody's eating raw flour as part of their meal. Ever done that? Ever eaten raw flour? I've eaten raw cinnamon, so it can't be worse than that, because that was pretty awful. Got my Summit sodas. We don't need these peaches. Not currently, at least. So many foods and goods. Let's have this precariously dangling along the edge. Clothes are good. The food is coming with me. Better make sure I take my my venison, which means I'm going to need more food for the road. I guess I'm taking a lot of that venison. Dare I take the heavy hammer? Certainly not taking these skillets. Skillets are too heavy. What about tools? What about the tools? I think I'll leave the tools behind. They're a little too heavy for travelling around with, and I can't think that I need them on location. And if I'm that wrong, and I'm pinned down there, I can always get it through Hold on. Keep the skillet permanently warm here because we're running NVIDIA. If I'm stuck there for a long time, I sure will find tools through beachcombing. A couple of these for emergency sewing. Yeah, so the heavy hammer. Do I take you? Do I want you for anything? There is a forge there, but I have no need for forging currently, so I guess the heavy hammer stays and I save myself 2 kilos of carry weight. Yeah, you just always use the outdoors as a refrigerator. Most things spoil slower outside. Some tinned things spoil slower inside. I'll leave behind a sewing kit. Generally, I'll leave behind damaged sewing kits if I can, but that'll be fine. I wanted to make a couple of torches, so give me a... Oh, I have no sticks for that. Crumbs, what an awkward situation to be in where I don't have sticks. I used them all for the fire. But I do want a torch. If there's a blizzard, there'll surely be some sticks lying around. Look at that. Stick, 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 stick. Stick, stick. And some more sticks. Donk. Goodness, seeing it out like that certainly reminds me of home. I think you make it slightly faster if you have your tools on you. Where is torch? Where is torch? No, really, where's torch? Lamp oil? I thought I picked this up. I guess I didn't then. Okay, come to me. Loads of fuel in you. Torch. Quality tools. Make one, please. Oh, I forget it takes my cloth. Give me 2 additional bits of cloth, please. Kind of absurd to think that you need tools for making this, but well, you don't need it, but it speeds things up. If I weren't using tools, it would take more than twice the time. But yeah, the idea of crafting torches, you would almost never do this in a regular Long Dark game, because why would you? You can just pull them from fires, but bless Von Dougal's quality of life mod, we're able to disable taking fires. Now, you could just say, oh, just don't pull fires in your game, but I find it takes me out of an experience if I have to dedicate a bit of headspace to actively not doing something that a game lets me do. So I self-imposed challenges, as interesting as they can always feel a bit, like you're holding yourself back. I don't want to hold myself back. I like to throw myself at a game with everything I've got. But knowing that I cannot pull the torches, that brings things to life for me. There's nothing inside the travois. Do I take the travois with me? I think the answer is no. I'm not going somewhere with rope climbs. I don't intend on bringing lots of things back. I'm certainly not bringing a ton of things over. So I think the travois is going to live inside here, and I just hope that travois doesn't take passive damage sitting inside a container. Where is the travois? I was just looking at it in my inventory. Why can I not find it now? Am I just having a dum-dum moment? Look, it's right there. Right there under tools. And now it's not. What? Hold that thought. It's definitely there, definitely exists. And now it exists. Mysterious. Maybe I'd done some interaction with it that was hanging it up. Right. My weight is more than 10 kilos underweight. I admittedly don't have a lot of resources that I can use on my travels, but I have enough. This isn't a full can of maple syrup, but that's fine. I don't want my guests getting tooth decay now, do I? Also, maple syrup is a huge issue with all the recipes. So I have that one jar on me. I've got a second jar here. And I think there was more down here somewhere. Where's all my maple syrup? I thought I'd found considerably more maple syrup. Where's it hiding? Ah, there's another batch over here. I thought I brought all my maple syrup back from Milton. Thought I had more of that. I'm really worrying about the maple syrup situation. Could anyone check how many more instances of maple syrup are needed for the recipes? The link to all the recipes is in the title. So anything that says maple syrup, but also things that say pancakes, because pancakes use maple syrup as well. Point is, I'm fine with what I got. I can make coffee on location, so let's just drink up and move on out. I think you used a whole one for the pancakes. Oof. Have you acquired corn yet? No. The only place you can find corn is in the Echo Memories bunkers things. And there's a very high chance I'm just not going to do those because I don't enjoy them. So if somebody wanted corn, they're going to be getting a substitution. And maybe they'll say, well, I'm not giving you your chef star, to which I say, that's fine, plenty of other places will. Should have never let anyone add corn to it. Surely with that resting, the storm has subsided. I'll eat my baby bit of venison. I need to be very careful not to accidentally eat all this delicious food in the radial menu. I'll grab my meat and get going. Torches, matches, a flare, the storm lantern. The storm lantern isn't full. I'm going to change that because... yeah, that's fine. The storm lantern is damaged, but I don't think that's really going to affect anything. We do have caves to go through, and I don't want to run out of fuel going through it, and it's hardly a big weight impact to take that. Alright, conditions look better, at least. Let's fill our bellies. And take 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. That leaves me with not a lot of calories back here. Can take this little baby one as well. And let's get moving. Wait, where am I going? How am I traveling there? What's the direction? Going through the ravine. Corn and ham, you should be able to find them in the zone of contamination. Not sure if they're degraded or not. If they're out in the open, that won't be an issue. On the road again, I said I would double check my ingredients, and I didn't do that. But I think I'll be okay. Oh boy, these wolves are already on me. That one got spooked because I'm wearing a bearskin bedroll. Bearskin coat. I keep saying bedroll. Why is that the first thing that comes to the tongue? For what it's worth, I'm going to one of my favourite regions, Coastal Highway. But we did not make the Coastal Highway food because that requires fish cakes. Which I evidently don't have access to. But I will. Hadn't considered the acorns would be such a big deal, but as you can see, acorn grounds require tons of acorns. And foods that require acorn grounds require them in bulk. So wherever possible, if we see trees that look like that, we want to go and hunt for acorns. The trouble is, I've already hunted most of them, and of course I haven't taken note of which ones I've dug up. But if the ground looks like that, it means I've already dug up. If you can see the ground. If it still looks white with little patches, then it's yet to be dug for acorns. Good old auto walk, lets me stop and drink. There's little reason to fear the wolves when they're stalking you like this, in my opinion. They can charge you from this position, but it's very rare. Rare enough for me not to worry about it. And besides, if they do charge me, I can just run and I can whack out a flare and spook them. I'd rather not waste a precious flare on that, but... using a flare is better than getting yourself half mangled. Oh, there's still a dead beast over there. I must have not interacted with it. But that also means it doesn't have a lot of meat on its bones. Meat on the bone. Yet another thing calling me back to Slay the Spire. Difficult to resist good games, you know. So glad I found Slay the Spire. And the whole reason I found Slay the Spire was thanks to that glorious game animation throwdown. Quest for Cards, what an awful game. Good chance to practice with the bow, perhaps. There's no incentive for me killing this guy. I don't want his meat, I have no use for his pelt, and I already have loads of guts, so... You may as well pretend he's not there. He's really not changing anything. I'm still going to be walking in this direction. There's nothing I need to stop for that he's going to complicate. He's really just there as a reminder for me to keep on moving. The only issue, so to speak, is the fact that it is snowing, making my clothes wet. That makes me heavier and colder. I want to experiment with something, though. Maybe not a good idea to do whilst it's so cold, but if I go in here and I close the door... Excuse me. Yeah, that breaks aggro because he has no pathing way here. I always very explicitly remember this caboose. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. I think if their action says charge you but they can't path to you, it makes them get spooked and run away. I think so, at least. Yeah, so that caboose way, way long ago, back when this game only had this region in survival mode. I curled up in there and started a fire. And I thought, wow, this game isn't very good. And I was right, because the game wasn't very good a long time ago. But over time and with updates, this game has become truly magnificent. I have plenty of criticisms about this DLC, but let's not take away from the fact that I do think this game is brilliant. It's hard to find something that's even remotely like it. There was a game that I saw that seemed to tap into similar veins as this. Focus on survival, less so about dealing with zombies or monsters or anything like that. So why didn't I play it? Must have been early access. Can't think of any other reason. I do not touch early access games, at least not willingly. Sometimes I get hoodwinked. I did play a game once, and I thought, man, this is really bad. Why is it so bad? And I realised I hadn't noticed, but it was early access. That game was Rebel Inc. From the makers of Plague Inc.
It's so cold.
Plague Inc. was a fairly popular game back in the day. Kind of exploded with the outbreak of COVID. Got some publicity over that as well. But they made another game that's all about taking care of rebels, and that game is no fun whatsoever. It's just playing whack-a-mole constantly. Let's take a 1 hour nap, because we've got plenty of places to be. Unreal World is pretty similar, but I think you don't like that style. Don't know what you mean by that style, but it's possible. There's plenty of things I don't like. Is it cardboard and a cloth, and we call that a bed. I've slept in some grim places. Oh, see, there we go. It's so warm, we're almost taking no cold impact whatsoever. It's still snowing, so my clothes are still going to be getting a little bit wet. My moose-hide satchel is actually suspiciously wet right now, but that's hardly a big deal. We are now going to enter Ravine, the safest location in the game. There are 0 predators in the ravine, which bears the question, when they add the cougar, will the cougar stalk you in the ravine? I do not know. Also, when did I go all the way up to 40 kilos? Must have been all that venison I picked up. It's a tile-based roguelike sort of thing. There is one game that I really love that's a tile-based roguelike, and that is Rogue Survivor. I've actually been tempted to stream Rogue Survivor again, just because I love the game. It's been abandoned by its developer, but it was abandoned in a fine enough state. The thing is, though, it is my go-to game for murder bingo. And unfortunately, I don't know how to add names into that game. You gotta recompile the game to edit the names list, but I actually don't remember how that's done. Dr. Nitram used to do that for me, very lovingly. But I hate pestering people about things like that. It's like, hey, could you do this thing for me for absolutely no return? That never feels right coming out. I'll look into it eventually, because I do want to play more Murder Bingo, and that is my go-to Murder Bingo game. Murder Bingo is the concept where we put a lot of you people into a game, and we give you bingo sheets with all your names on them, and as we kill them in the game, you score them off. Well, it's a very sad day to be you, my friend. I should feel bad about that. Poor thing had its hooves caught in the woods there, which is not a real thing, just bugged out somehow. I don't know exactly how or why. But it's not cold whatsoever, so there is no good reason not for me to strip this whole thing. Get my hacksaw out. It is faster to use the knife, but the hacksaw is generally the better tool to use. It may take longer, but the hacksaw is easier to repair than the knife. Anyway, let's get to it. We're even warming up here, which is madness.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
It did not become light enough for me to use the mag lens to start a fire. How am I doing on water there? Okay, I have enough for one big gulp. Yeah, Shepherd is right. That's a bit too much. What I'll probably do is leave some of the meat back here, so that on the way back I have good access to food. I already brought plenty of good food with me. Card-based tropical island survival. I think I saw that and I really did not like the look of it. Didn't play it though. But you know, if I played every game that I looked at, I'd never get anything done. Sometimes I do have to make sweeping conclusions, and sometimes they may be the wrong conclusions. Slice and Dice, for example. I've had a few people tell me, you gotta check out Slice and Dice. I watched it being played for... I think by now I've watched a few hours of Slice and Dice. I really do not like the look of it. Too much is abstracted. I can't get into the meat and bones of it. Not like Slay the Spire. It's only an easy trip to Bleak Inlet to repair the knife. Yeah, one bit of scrap metal, an active aurora, and dodging all the timber wolves, and I can repair knives and hatchets using scrap metal. Tantalizing proposition, is it not? That's right, it is not. So all this meat back here, should I make a note that I'm leaving it in this cave? Have I gone down the ravine yet? Can anyone remember if I've been down the ravine? It's been ages, so I really can't remember. There's a stim down there, and I would have dipped Bleak Inlet, but I cannot think as to having done that. 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be all the cooked stuff. And then this is all my... that's the raw stuff, and this is the cooked stuff. Come on, Jake, you know the difference. It's unlikely to ever be bright enough for me to be able to make a fire without using a match. So I think I will take 2 of them, and I'll continue to the other side of the ravine while the going is good. And then I'll cook up 2 of them along with some water, and then I will sleep tonight. I don't remember anything. It's all a blurry mess, says Rainy. I don't blame you. We've been playing this game for about 80 days. Yeah, 80 days. Who can remember everything we've done in that time? Not this guy. Rogue Survivor. Now that's on my mind. So many games, so little time. What's a man to do? There are additional birch saplings here. Interesting. Those can be used for arrows, but I have loads of them already, so there is no great need for it. Sometimes it can be really difficult to resist the urge to just harvest everything you see. But someone did ask me, you know, what advice would you give to a new player, and that was what I said. Don't feel the need to take absolutely everything. Just take what you need. Whoa, that noise threw me off. I thought it was the sound of a wolf nibbling at something. Some very rare coal. Surface coal. Can you still get surface diamonds in Minecraft? It was very rare, but you used to be able to get surface diamond. Cheers, PJ Esquire. I don't know what it is that drives someone to hang around for 40 months, but you have, given the abuse that I hurl. Alright, let's keep on moving. The ravine may be safe, but it still gets cold and blustery and blizzardy like anywhere else. So let's make good of the good times. Although I will investigate to see if I've been down. No, I would have deployed the rope, and I would have left the rope, so I have not been down the ravine. Does that mean I've not been to Bleak Inlet at all? I thought I dipped Bleak Inlet, just a very short bit. Gonna leave this and not interact with it, so it's there for later. Wait, I didn't search this backpack? What have I been doing with my time? Well, at least if I'm confused, I can always go and watch the VOD. There's a great temptation to be on the route to do the final recipe and just throw myself off a cliff to really get under the skin of people who want to see this run reach a full conclusion. Nancy always drags me back. She has a certain allure, doesn't she? Well. Don't count your chickens on Nancy today. You might have thought we dispelled her yesterday. Was that yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago. Yesterday was Caesar 3. Ah, Caesar, my love. Certainly a cave over there. Let's get rid of one of these stones. They're just weighing me down for no good reason. Yeah, get rid of 2 of them. No need to go to that cave, although it's a nice place to hang around with some rabbits if the need arises. Coming up to the last chance for a mag lens fire, but no, it is far too foggy. You can check days in the log to see where you've been. Very true. Not something I want to do at the moment though, because I can't do it whilst we're still walking. What I can do is set auto walk on, and then grab a delicious drink of water. From a bottle I picked up at a WH Smith's in Aberdeen, just because I thought it looked nice. I grabbed it and I still have it now. But upon reading, it was water from the Carpathian Springs. And I've come all the way back here, so it's made quite the round trip. Here being Hungary, where I live, despite my very mild Scottish accent and my incredibly good grasp of the English language, I live in Hungary. Because life here is great. I always try and come up with a different reason when people ask me why you live here, because they always seem shocked. Why would anyone come here? Why would you live here? What are you thinking? I'm thinking life is good. I'm thinking taxes are low. Speaking of which, I was meant to pay my taxes this morning, and did I get up in time for that? I did not. You know, in a lot of games like this, I'd find this endless traipsing really aggravating. It's just kind of burning time going from place to place. But something about this is so different. I mean, right now I have no concerns. I'm not worried about the cold or predators or damage or anything like that. Health is full, conditions are great, we're warm-ish. But that is a culmination of the efforts that we've made to get this far. So every step I take is reinforcement of the good decisions that I have done. We are warm because I hunted those bears and stole their pelts at ideal times. We are well prepared because I've amassed up not just loads of items, but the right items. And we're not stopped because we're taking a clever route through here. Whoa! It's alright. It's easier to walk along things if you just look down. Helps you keep your balance, helps you know where you are. You can have auto walk on here and just accidentally die because the railway gives out here. You've got to walk along these bits. And then you got to walk along here. If you had auto walk on, you would have just kept walking and fallen down and died. There is no surviving if you fall off there. Even if you somewhat survive the fall, there are death planes all over. So if you touch a certain point, the game just insta-kills you, because there's no jumping or outside of ropes climbing mechanic in the game. I believe on release, Blackrock had a lot of death planes that you could just wander into and die without any real understanding why. I think the death planes leaked out. Alright, there we go, through the ravine. Wasn't I planning on sleeping in the ravine? Well, maybe, but there are plenty of opportunities for rest here in Coastal Highway as well. Water's becoming a slight issue, though. I don't have enough water to make it through the night. I will need to make a fire. I'd probably crawl on all fours like a baby on that. Oh man, I cannot relate. I love heights. Irregardless of whether... Wait, hang on. Wasn't I meant to leave some meat behind? Yeah, I still got some raw meat, and that's making me stink to high heaven. Yeah, well. I got options. Didn't I leave some stuff back here? Let me look at supplies over at Coastal Highway. Conset has cooking supply. That could be important. I better check what cooking supplies I left in Conset. Matches aren't so important. But the Western Island House... I did say someday I'd go back for that rabbit pelt, but it's not necessary. Miscellaneous always just means nothing of consequence. Interesting. There's no good reason to stop, even if it's getting late, and even though I smell. It's only -1 degrees, and we're not tired, so we keep moving. Yeah, I really love heights. One thing I'd love to get my hands on is a drone and a VR set, so that I can kind of experience flying that way. Oh, I'd love that. Surely the technology is there, and no doubt that kind of thing is already commercially available. I've just never looked into grabbing a drone yet. Someday. Considering how bad you make the game sound on release, what made you come back to it? The reason I came back to this is the weekly one-shot. As I'm sure you're aware, every week I do a challenge submitted by the community, and one of them was the Long Dark Escape the Dark Walker. A special challenge run on the game where you have to go through the game like we're doing now, however you are constantly being chased by an Eldritch abomination. If he catches you at all, you die. And I thought, hey, I've played the Long Dark, I'll give this a go. And I did, and I enjoyed the challenge. It was very frustrating because during that challenge it is always night time, and I didn't know the maps at all, so figuring out how to move and what to do, oh, that was awful. And a bear ripped off my trousers mid-run because he was not impressed with me taking a single revolver shot at him. Yeah, there was some memories there, but after that I thought, hey, you know, this is a whole lot bigger and more fleshed out than it ever was when I played it years ago, so I came back to it. I jumped straight into Ultraloper, and I kept playing, and I kept dying, but I eventually got good. Because games that I play, I am fairly determined to get pretty damn good at. Tarkin Rex coming in saying that was one of my favourite weekly one-shots. Tarkin Rex has been around for a long time. He's practically one of those mouldy old pieces of furniture of the community. For him to say that's his favourite, that's high praise. I've always pondered doing kind of meta stuff, like looking back on runs that I've done, talking about them, rating them in some way. I don't feel like that's what this channel's all about, but I do like to reminisce at times, so I'm sure I'll eventually do that. Maybe for the 300th weekly one-shot. Irregardless of what we do for that, I'll have a look back on the 400 challenge runs I've done, and the, probably by then, 200 punishment games that have come of it. That does not speak well to a good win ratio. Maybe get people to also cast their votes on their favourite one, or favourite ones. 200? Optimistic. No, I think we're at 180 punishment games right now. There should be a link right below the channel that
I'm
gives a
trying to
list
find
of
a
punishment
doesn't seem
games,
so
and
crazy right now.
I catalogue all my runs, so there's going to be a Google sheet with all the punishment games I've done, as well as a rating of how punishing it was. If anybody could get a count for me, that'd be great, but in my head it's either 167 or 187. And if both of those are wrong, then I guess I'm just a dum-dum. Goodness, it is so rare to be able to cover this much distance. No need on stopping. No. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Fido has taken issue with me. Should I take issue with Fido? Or should I give Fido a nice big berth? Why is it just standing there? You know, when people tell me that dogs are intelligent creatures, I'm going to be thinking of you. And then again, dogs wake themselves up with their own farts, so... Gotta say, it was nice going back home and seeing my old dog. He's still on the go. He's pretty old by now, but still going. His name is Thunder. And that's funny because he is deathly afraid of thunder. Oh man, it was really stormy when I was back home, up in Moray. And yeah, there was quite a lot of rain, thunder. And he was just shaking and shivering and howling at the thunder. He was so scared. 189 punishment games. Oh, I was pretty much correct. Take the 7, turn it upside down, add a loop. It's... Oh no, turn it around again. It's practically a 9. That dog is looking at the man who's killed dozens of his brethren. I don't think I've killed dozens of dogs by now in this game. Well, not in this run. My aim with the bow has been terrible. And I've been blaming my new mouse, but now I've gone back to the old G502, so I don't have that excuse anymore. That's bad. I always like to have excuses at the ready. Now here's a question. Where am I meant to put these meals that I've brought over? I see 194 bright green punishments, but the completed punishment list has 189. What could it mean? Like I say, I'm certain I've lost count of punishments a couple of times over the years. But I thought I'd corrected it by now. Yeah, good old 502, best mouse I've ever had. I was tempted to buy another one. They're on sale right now for about $30 on Amazon. But I thought I'd hold out and see if the wireless one ever went on sale. Wow, Deadpool himself reading in. You! The hood is not open, telling me I never properly searched you. Which is strange, because it's right on route. Ooh, rewarded already. Yoink. And there's a book, but I'll ignore the book. The book is on carcass harvesting, which is not something we need advice on. We're very good at carcass harvesting. We might even be too good. We can get some numbers on that. Skill at carcass harvesting. We are a master. We are a legend. Carcasses pray you'll be the one to harvest them. You don't waste a movement. Nice to finally get the recognition I deserve. Majesty is 62.5, but that still leaves 4 unaccounted.
It's getting dark out here.
Should be trivial to compare lists. Obviously I can't do that right now. I'm busy being stalked. If somebody doesn't do that now, I will take care of it after the stream. Like I said, not a long stream today, because something will be happening. The date format is hilariously inconsistent on the punishment game list. Yeah, probably. Because sometimes I use slashes, sometimes I use dashes, and sometimes it's copy-pasted and sometimes it's imported. So I wouldn't be surprised if you find at least 4 different ways that dates are put in there. The Scottish calendar now, I do I do day, month, year. But in Hungary, I believe it's year, month, day. Maybe that's a more mainland European way of doing things. Should be a little bit cautious here. I am gabbing away, but this is a place with a moose. Look at that moose over there. It's actually one of the better places in the game to fight a moose because there are so many places to take cover. Oh, hang on. Oh, that moose wants a piece of me, and I don't want a piece of broken ribs, so let's just get inside and enjoy being in concept for the first time in a very long time. So these are our cooking supplies. There's oil. I left myself some water. Excellent. That means I do not need to make water here. Left myself a marine flare. Will I leave myself another flare? Sure. Concept's an excellent place. Shouldn't need tomato soup. I may need that oil. I used a lot more oil than I thought making these pancakes. I already took the water, but now we can see it's non-potable water. Oh god, I didn't bring a pry bar. That's right, I left it on the counter thinking I don't need this right now. Oh man, there could be all sorts of nothing in that locker. It's on Interloper. Locked lockers are actually less likely to have things in them. I missed that whetstone. Most of the stuff will already be empty. Oh, the basin has potable water, so the basin must be different from toilets. Oh man, this place brings back so many memories of my... Holy crap, I missed you!
Oh, lucky day.
Oh, it's very fortunate that I found another hacksaw. Because if I'd overlooked that and gone a long time without a hacksaw, I would be kicking myself. I forget where I found the hacksaw I've been using all this time. But yeah, I had no idea the hacksaw could spawn there. I think I was looking for it underneath the tires and behind that barrel, because you sometimes find it over there. Why did I do such a shoddy job of looting this place before? Was it lack of light? I don't know. Would have been quite some time ago. Alright, do we go out and hunt anything around us, or do we just call it a day? We're not that tired, it's not that dark, it's not even that late. I think what we're going to do...
anything right now.
Anything, Shepherd. I think we're going to eat up. Yeah, eat up some more. Just eat up until we're full, I suppose. Yeah, I found the entire... I gotta remember I need to keep 2 of those steaks for the meal. That said, I probably shouldn't have those on. They make me smell pretty bad. What's the challenge, Jake? The challenge is bringing a set course to every location on the map. So if we look here, here's the menu. So Ash Canyon needs all of these goods: pancakes, porridge, bannock, venison. Blackrock wants lily pancakes, canned... They're probably not getting that canned corn. Bleak Inlet, where we're heading... No, not heading to. Where are we heading to? We're heading to Desolation Point. They want 6 pancakes. Summit soda and some maple syrup. I'm bringing that over right now. And Crumbling Highway can also get their goods. Shallow Under the Arch is where I'm meant to deliver the McDonald's Big Breakfast. And the True Canadians Only is delivered to the Riken. So let's go to both of those places. You know, I'm so not tired, I could move out right now. And I could sleep over in Crumbling Highway. Sure, it's tempting to kill this moose, but I'd have to ask myself, for what gain? I don't need a moose hide anymore. Oh, I shouldn't leave the meat behind though, right? That meat's kind of important. Also, I've warmed up plenty in here. It's still warm outside and it's still plenty bright, so there's no good reason not to just keep on moving. As far as I know, we're the only ones who use year, month, day in Europe. Amberino, you're the one that works for Posta, right? I wish I had even a single good thing to say about Posta, but... well, it's better than Royal Mail. That's as good as I can do, and that's not very good. Typical Britain, not useless, can still be used as a bad example. Yeah, it only feels like -4 and we're not that tired, so I'm happy to keep on moving. Crumbling Highway has a basement that I can sleep in. Do Swedes use year, month, day? Maybe, I don't know. It's day, month, year for me till the day I die. Although I do think year, month, day makes more sense. Anything makes more sense than month, day, year. Alright, so when I said it's lovely and bright, we have no problem moving around, am I about to change my opinion on that? Certainly. Oh, hang on, door's going. Well, that was amazing. Speak ill of Posta, and then suddenly Posta is at my door saying, what is your name? Oh, I'm Jake. Here you go. I don't know exactly what's in those packages, but if I had to guess... One of them is my stockings, and the other is... Well, I have no idea what's in the other one. I guess I'll find out when I open it. Also, maybe it was good to step outside. It is absurdly warm and blindingly bright. My eyes are a bit frazzled suddenly going back to my screen. No, fortunately it was not the arrest warrant. I have been doing as much as I can to actually stay on the right side of the law here in Hungary. Especially regarding my taxes. Certainly hasn't been easy to figure out. But I just do my usual trick of going to the tax office and making it their problem until they figure it out for me. Still feels very strange. You need to go down in person and pay them in person your taxes each month? It sounds like a scam. When I do it, it feels like a scam. But hey, I've got paperwork, so if they come for me, I can throw that at their face. Year, month, day is ISO 8601. I'm a developer who worked too much with dates and times. That's why they consider you a suspicious person, Jake. Staying on the right side of the law all the time, not a very Hungarian thing to do. Yeah, I suppose. The whole reputation here is tax evasion, right? But the taxes are so low, why even evade them? I don't know. I would say it's nice to pay towards a Hungarian pension, but you know, what's a Hungarian pension? Maybe someday someone will find out. I'm really curious what's in the box now. Well, it's not making a ticking noise or leaking anything. One time I was doing security for an oil and gas place, and we received a package for... what would you call the guy? Let's just say he was the administrator of the building. And the address and his name were spelt wrongly. The box looked very suspicious. I swear it had a few things dangling out of it as well. And we concluded that it must have been a test. The administrator had probably mailed it to himself here to test to see if we were going to be dumb enough to just bring the package over to him. So we did not. And security work was good. Okay, yet another trunk that I cannot open because I did not bring my pry bar. Silly me. Fortunately, I can't think of anything that I really need the pry bar for. And opening up all those trunks and lockers, they will almost invariably have nothing in them. You can, in a very rare occasion, find a Mackinaw inside a locked locker. But that's exceptionally unlikely, and at this point, no longer useful. Besides, we already found a Mackinaw. And I don't think we took it with us because it was of no use. The bear coat and the wolf coat are both better than anything you can find in the game. At least in terms of warmth. Maybe that's not strictly true. I don't know all of the stalker level loot that you can get to that effect. There could be stuff like Expedition Parka that's maybe got a better warmth and weight ratio, but they don't scare off wolves. Being a walking bedroll has certainly got its advantages. Right. Now I'm definitely tired enough to be sleeping. I got enough water to get through the night, courtesy of the liter that we found over in Concept. So all I need to do is make my way over to the basement area, take a nap, and then we're going to beachcomb and deploy the goodies here. I better get that basement soon, because I'm getting tired, slower, and it's really dark, so I'm going to have a very hard time dealing with any wolves that come my way. Especially because I stink so much. I think the basement's right over there. If I didn't want to use the basement, I think there's a cave over here, but I do want to use the basement. We're not outerloping here. There's a basement over the cave over there or around here. Maybe I'll get a better look when it's daytime. Where's that basement at? Here it is. I like that little baby bit of venison that we have. Yum, yum, yum. Tyrion's also going for the 40 today. Has work still got you really busy, Tyrion? I know what it's like. Okay, where's this going? Pretty dark, but if I just find a place to thump you down. Don't eat all that delicious food you have, Jake, tempting though it may be. Instead, drink up and get your 8 hours of kip. Kip means sleep. The Moon and the Stars really sells the nighttime atmosphere. Oh, this game has atmosphere in spades. The whole oil painting style that they have is just... it's great. It's not a high fidelity game by any stretch of the imagination, but style matters so much more than fidelity, in my humble and correct opinion. Okay, it's not a blizzard, but it's certainly stormy. Gotta keep in mind that 2 of these pieces of venison are for the customer, not for me. I will eat 1 of them. Huh, didn't even finish the thing. Drink up my limited reserve of water. But now we are in a state where we do need to start a fire, both for cooking and for making water. Alright, there we go. It's almost light. Pretty sure I already searched this place thoroughly, so there's no need to search it again. I could smash down these shells for metal, but again, there's no need to do so. It's going to be Baltically cold out there, given the time of day. But I should be able to see, at least clearer than I can down in this basement. Alright, alright. Eat this little baby piece of meat, shall we? Shall I leave this meat here whilst I go beachcombing? I can always come back there and warm up. I'm a little curious if there was a cave over here. Can't quite remember. These days I don't play with maps anymore. I used to play extensively using maps. This is looking a lot like there is no cave over here. Crumbling Highway is really just a connector region. There's nothing major here, but you can beachcomb. And that alone can make a place really tantalizing to visit. But yeah, this time of day, when it's minus 21, that's how it feels underneath my double bare coat. Pretty damn cold. I'm already wanting to go back and warm up. But mostly I want this wind to go away. The wind is causing 5 degrees of additional cold. I'll grab some additional sticks because I know I'm going to want to start a fire at some point. Although starting a fire in a windy situation like this, not great. This wind isn't strong enough to put out the fire, but could easily whip up and take it out. You can shelter your fire against the wind, but the wind can change direction. Many things to consider. Ooh, I can actually tear apart these benches for bits and bobs. It's a consideration, but not one I'm taking seriously. Alright, I will wait out a little bit more. Note that it's getting lighter and brighter now. I can only imagine how comfy that bedroll must be. Getting to the point where I want less warmth, not more of it, when I try and sleep here in Hungary. Good times. Can't wait to take my first dip in Balaton of the year. I do have birch bark tea if I desperately need water, but I'd hate to waste it given that my condition is full. Ah, the wind calmed down. Excellent. Truly excellent. In that case, let's go for a quick wander along the beach and deposit our first meal. Yeah, we had to get this run started eventually. It's finally starting. It starts. Sprain risk, not a problem. Sticks are good. So yes, I'm going along not only to beachcomb, but it will take me over to where I meant to deposit these goods. Need to be careful not to fall into the water though. I have done it before. It was on my birch bark tea run. A challenge run where I was only allowed to consume birch bark tea for calories. Nothing else that gave calories was permitted to be eaten. And towards the end of it, I was getting a little bit too cocky. And I ran over some weak ice, and I fell right in and got instant hypothermia. So don't do that. Try to not get complacent. That's difficult because I love being cocky. I mean, who wouldn't? It's so much fun. Alright, we got some goodies here immediately. We got ourselves a base, or bass. Maple sapling, those are kind of rare, so finding them out here is brilliant. Another fish. This is already weighing me down something fierce. Cattail stalks. That's the arch that I think I meant to put the food into. Get away from the edge there. I won't be falling in. I stink now thanks to all of this fish, this raw fish. Fish is very heavy. And it's very not dense in calories. What's the opposite of dense? If you had to use a single adjective to mean the opposite of dense, what would you do? My go-to is low density, but that's not a single word. Is it tuna? No, it's... is that a joke? Sparse? Sparse doesn't feel right. Can check this cairn. It's of no real value, but we can still check it out. The story's not yet written. Oh, some wolves over there. I think they can smell me. I can fix that. All I need to do is put down all this smelly stuff that I have.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this.
Wolves can only smell things if they're on your person. Oh wow, I'm too heavy to even run. Okay. Well, here's the arch. And this little bit of snow. It seems like a decent enough place. Let's get these stones out of the way.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do.
Yeah, I might have mentioned it, Shepherd. Get out of here, stones. Nyeh. And a bit more nyeh. Right, how are we going to do this then? I think we'll have a cozy little fire. All this grass kind of gets in the way. Can we do it a little differently?
I'd eat snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
This seems a bit nicer, actually. Have you offset a little bit over here. I'll take the 5% failure chance. Ice cracking. It's quite spooky. It really is.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Almost as spooky as getting a letter from Posta saying, oh, we tried to deliver your package, and think, well, I'm never seeing this package again. Right. Just dump a bunch of sticks on it so I can stay nice and warm next to you.
Oh, so cold.
I know it's cold, Shepherd. For God's sake, quit your bleeding. I do need water. I'll make a little bit of water, but I do also want to cook up this raw meat that I have. Also, I need to cook up these fish.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
Nothing but complaints out of the Shepherd. Anyway, cook that up and let us prepare our meal. So, what was needed over here in Crumbling Highway? 2 Summit sodas. Gotta be very careful not to accidentally drink these. So, Summit soda and Summit soda. I believe you wanted 3 pancakes. 1, 2. Maybe we should get all this other food out of the way so it doesn't get rid of the image, because I plan on taking a lovely screenshot of all of the meals. Three pancakes. You wanted 2 bannocks as well, right? Bannock and... Huh. That's a little awkward. How can we drop just one of them? There we go. Drop one, move over here, drop the other one. And I should be able to have them like so without them stacking. Okay, good. 3 pancakes, 2 bannocks, 2 cooked venison. 1 cooked venison, another cooked venison. Bigger than advertised, but you can't cut down specifically 200. And a couple of baked potatoes. Junk. And junk. There we go. On top of that, you want 2 cups of coffee. Uh-oh, I don't have the water to make cups of coffee. Here you can have this one that I took from home. And when this water is boiled, I will make that into a cup of coffee. Shepherd's getting really thirsty here. It's quite the meal. Quite the meal. Hot and heartening, apparently. These pancakes lost condition so fast. I only cooked them the other day and they're already down to 38% condition. Is this not the wrong bannocks? Oh my god, I made acorn bannocks. Ah, well, just consider that a bonus for the person eating here. That's actually a shame because I really need acorns. Oh my days, why did I make acorn ones? Ah well, they won't know the difference. That nutty flavour is just a special kind of flour I'm using. I did ask if there was a difference. Yeah, I remember that question coming up. I didn't clock that that was because I was actually making acorn bannocks. Oh well, the first dish we made, and there's a mistake. probably going to rob us of one of our Michelin stars, but I'm sure they'll still give us another half dozen or so. Nice.
Ugh, my tongue feels like sandpaper.
I'm sure it does, Shepherd. Let's make some water for us. Actually, I should have some spare water. There we go. Still have some cooking to do, and whilst the fire is going and the conditions are good, I will do just that. Let's take you and start cooking up one of these things like this. Fish. Lovely. Very lovely. I can just get a nice screenshot like so. How do we know that we're in Crumbling Highway anyway?
I can't feel my feet.
Well, I know this is Crumbling Highway. That's good enough for me. There we go. Did the meal maker define? No, he just said bannock. So the fact that there's acorn there is, shall we say, chef's choice. We shall, because I'm certainly not going back here. I'm not worried that I brought acorn bannock instead of bannock. I'm concerned that this wasted 4 acorns worth of ingredients times 2 to make them. That's 8 acorns. An ingredient that I am a little shy on. If I end up finding no more bannocks, I might have to come back here, take these bannocks, replace them with regular bannocks, and then move the acorn ones over to someone else's dish. Could you imagine that at a restaurant? You get served your meal, and then the server comes back, takes it away, going, "Oh, sorry, I just need some of this," and then he, like, I don't know, scrapes some cheese off of the topping or something. "Oh yeah, this cheese was for someone else. Sorry." Could be what I end up doing here. What about his acorn allergies? Not my problem. Alright, lovely little cozy place. We're not exactly safe here, but we're safe enough. Wolves would notice the fire before they jump us. Same with a bear. Mooses don't spawn in Crumbling Highway. Part of the Michelin star experience, exactly. Do we have people here that have eaten at Michelin star restaurants? I think I have. I think the... was the Goose Egg restaurant in Krakow not Michelin star? If not, it should have been. It was very good. Despite Krakow being, well, unbreathable. Plenty of... Was the absurdly expensive meat place Michelin star, Ninja? After all, you do live in the home of the most Michelin stars. I got nothing better to do for passing time. Let's just grab you. Chug down a touch more water whilst I also cook you up. I'll just eat you, right? There's calories and it's a good amount of vitamin C, and I do need vitamin C. And you've got 30 minutes in you, so let's make more water. I had Michelin ranked noodles 2 weeks ago. It was great. I don't eat out much these days at all. I love to cook, and I've got all the gubbins for home cooking right at my doorstep, so why go out? Is there a better way I could arrange these? What was this meant to be again? Oh yeah, it's meant to be the McDonald's Big Breakfast, but I can't stack things on top of things. They go through each other, as you can see. I think there was a mod that lets you stack things on top of things, but I am sure it is broken like most mods for this game. Game updates and breaks damn near every mod whenever it does. It's the real Bannerlord experience. Gonna make more water while I can. We've evidently been a little short on water. And spending time here is no big deal. I might even take a nap here. For example, once you're ready. And keep all my food over here. And when you're good, what I'll do is I'll put you down. somewhere. Don't you call me an invalid. Come on, where are you gonna go? There we go. Grab the water, put in that. Ooh, that's not good enough. Put in that then. And that. Why does it melt so fast? I swear there's something wrong here. I'm quite sure cooking skill is not meant to speed up the rate at which water boils, but I feel like it totally is. I ate the best crab ever in a restaurant based in the Seafort in the English Channel. Oh, I do like crab. But not crab stick, I need some proper crab. Alright, so now I can't actually sleep when boiling water anymore. Curious. And also I would have grabbed some additional little bits of lantern fuel, so let's fill you up. Alright, well we'll use the rest of that when we come out of our place. Right, take you with me. Leave behind this food. Certainly don't leave behind this food, those are my rations. And now we carry on, for that was only one of the meals to deliver today. We also want to deliver the one for Desolation Point. Our first return to Desolation Point since we spawned there 2.5 months ago in-game. And possibly 2.5 months ago in real life. When did I start this run? It's been going the distance. Is that more area to beachcomb? I do think so. Do I want to? I may as well. Oh, well, this could pay off. Look at some of the stuff we got here. I think that's just some flotsam wood, which you can break down for burnables. Never worth it in my... Oh, easy now. Never worth it in my opinion. Why would you spend 40 minutes out here on the freezing cold coast to get some reclaimed wood? Reclaimed wood is pretty poor. It burns for a wee bit, but it doesn't add much temperature and it's really heavy for what it gives you, so I don't rate reclaimed wood very highly. Reclaimed wood is just like a privilege to get if you're indoors and safe. And then you can break apart some old furniture and that for it. Okay, are you even reachable? The answer is... maybe. Go gadget arms. I am not risking that other one. No way, no how. Some painkillers here, another cattail stalk. So if anybody tells you that cattails are finite, you tell them Jake says they're wrong, because you can get infinite cattails through beachcombing. But it's infinite amount, not infinite throughput, so if cattails are, for example, your only source of food, you will die to scurvy. You would not be able to get enough cattails to get vitamin C back through beachcombing alone. And scurvy is something you will die to in this game. Could have been anything in that locker, even a box of matches. Oh, you know how much we wanted one of these. You know how much we wanted this, though. Cured leather. Now we can repair our aviator hat, and we can use it to repair our moosehide satchel, but the moosehide satchel is not in any need of repair, and it's also something that doesn't need repairing anyway. It gives you no warmth, and no matter how battered it is, it doesn't impact the amount that it lets you carry. Can we get to you? Go shepherd arms.
I think I can use this.
You know what? I will take those trail boots, because those can be torn apart for leather. Beef jerky. Wait, 2 beef jerkies? Will wonders ever cease? I don't think there's anything more over there, and I do want to get moving somewhat. We're in a good time of day for it. Double beef jerky. We should celebrate by eating the beef jerky. I have not had beef jerky in ages. It's, in my opinion, not very filling, but quite calorifically dense, so it doesn't fit well into my regime. But there is a Finnish military surplus place that sells really good beef jerky. Or rather, they retail it, but I go straight to the source. I forget its name, though. It's something long and Finnish and has more V's and K's and U's in it than I'm comfortable saying. Point is, it's the best beef jerky I've ever had, and I should strongly consider making another order of it. The problem is the stuff's too easy to eat. No joke though, best beef jerky I've ever had. None of that speeding up their tenderizing with sugars nonsense. I find that often with American beef jerky. They just drench the whole stuff in corn syrup so it gets real tender real fast, and you just... it's like chewing on a sweet. Cool, 2 pre-made corpses right here for me. I need neither of them. But corpses are a great early game source of guts and hides, and a wee dash of meat. Yeah, the locker could have had something, and I did have enough time to open it and grab it and get back to safety. But the pivotal point was I did not want to risk it, because falling through the ice would have been disastrous. I would have gotten instant hypothermia, my things would have all gotten wet. Condition damage on my clothes, yeah, just not worth the risk, considering the payoff ranged from nothing to matches. There was nothing in that locker that we could have conceivably needed. Hello, I very rarely check out this cave. We're rewarded with a 0% condition torch? That's strange. Have I been here before? I have! Why would I have ever been in this cave? I'll leave this as a marker to say that I have been here, lest I fall for the same shenanigans again. Oh, Wolf's backing me into a corner here. And I think he's bringing friends. I am still not very confident in my ability to shoot a wolf. Whew, okay, that was very lucky. Because for some reason he was coming at me at an angle. I'm so used to them coming straight up at you. These days they do strange things, my lord. Now I don't have a ton of food on me, so actually carving up Wolfington for his meat. Actually no, I say I don't have a lot of food. I got these massive amounts of food right here. That said though, when the good Lord gives you the goods, I say take the goods. That was such a blind shot though. You saw he was running off to my left. I just jolted left and shot blind. Not only that, my arrow broke on contact. There we go. Hey, did you see that? I swear it spawned big and then suddenly shrunk. Can you elaborate on how exactly this works, Von Dougals, with the scaling of the sizes here? Right, what am I doing here? I don't think it's Maglens weather. Certainly isn't. I don't particularly want to cook up this meat here and now. And I don't want to carry it either. It's going to make me stink to high heaven. So what do I want to do? Oh my god, it's so small. I'll just leave the meat here then. Or I could carry it over to the... No, I'll just leave it here. This meat really doesn't have any particular use to me. That wolf was a weird one though. Chinese jerky has cooking wine in it, and it's delicious. Very good in a sarnie with cucumber. That seems so strange to me. Putting beef jerky in a sarnie to begin with. Adding cucumber. I mean, now I love cucumber, but cucumber with beef jerky? Someone's wrong in the head here. I've lost my bearings. Normally I don't go out in that direction in Crumbling Highway, so I'm hoping that I'm walking towards the... I'm not? Where? I got turned around somehow. I don't think I proceeded along far enough, but I meant to be going over to the cave. Oh, would you look at that? It suddenly became... Oh. You calm down now. Oh god, what kind of shot was that? was pathetic. He was right there, sitting duck for me, and I shot miles over his head. That's alright, spooked him, so no damage done to either of us. Great conditions right now, though. I am sorely tempted to cook up that wolf, but I will not. Yeah, I needed to proceed further along in that direction, which I didn't. Let's do that now. Jinx. Crumbling Highway is one of the most simple maps in the game, and I'm still getting lost in it. Of course, in real life, I could get lost in my own garden. I am not good at orienting. Come on, Shepherd, up you go. Before the wolf eats you. Went to archery school like a stronghold bowman. Maybe like javelin school like a Caesar 3 javelineer. Throwing where the enemy is, not where they're going. I always thought the bowmen in Stronghold were rather accurate. Wait, no, I'm suddenly getting flashbacks of knights very slowly coming towards me and the bowmen all shooting over him, so maybe you're quite right. Stronghold. Now, there's a game I haven't played in some time, but I really have no desire to. Stronghold is a game that is thoroughly beaten. Can't think of any way to breathe new life into it. I was considering doing a full run on very hard mode, which is very hard, but that encourages you to use all sorts of shenanigans in the game that I'm not too fond of. Could be anything in there. Damn it all. But look at all this coal I've left behind. Coal from past Jake to current Jake. While I'm here, let's harvest this arrow. I'll save on a little bit of weight that way, I believe. So I wanted to check how much I currently have. I only have 3 bits of coal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dump all 3 bits of coal here. I'm going to grab my lantern, because I am 100% certain that the coal has replenished here. Mines have a lot of coal, and as long as you move the coal, you can pick it up. But if you just move the coal like that, the coal will respawn. The respawn time for coal is, I believe, about 30 days. Might seem a very long time, but coal is very good, and you find a lot of it in caves, so don't be shy about that. There are also quite a lot of caves, the best one for coal being the Cinder Hills Coal Mine, which connects Coastal Highway to Pleasant Valley. If we check that on the world map, it is here-ish. But as you can see, coal galore. Every bit of coal lasts over an hour and adds 20 degrees to your fire. It is also necessary for forging, because only coal can punch the temperature of a fire above 80 degrees. You need 150 to forge. So yes, thank goodness coal is renewable in caves, because if not, then forging would be non-renewable. I guess you don't really need forging to be renewable, as long as you never lose your arrowheads. Because scrap metal and an aurora and bleak inlet means that you can keep your tools going forever. Whetstones will run out, although I have heard tale that whetstones can spawn in lockers that are found on beachcombing, but that is so rare it could not be considered viably renewable. Coal is heavy though, very heavy. This would be a long way to go for coal to haul back to somewhere like Mystery Lake. I'd instead use the I'd use the cave that goes over to Mountain Town. Will you play FTL again? I have no intention of going back to FTL. There's another game that is amazing, brilliant, I love it, I'm also very good at it, but I have ground it into dust. I've done everything there is to do in that game, and then when there was nothing else to do, I invented new things to do and did those. But now, I don't think there's any fun I could squeeze out of the game, at least not meaningfully. Doing 3 seasons of Into the Airlock was already probably 1 season more than necessary. I still get people asking me for more. It's like, hey, when's the next season of Into the Airlock? It's like, well, I don't really have anything left to do. We've done all the ships. I think by now we've won with all the ships, even with the added on things that we've had. People making decisions for me, mutiny, definitely shooting myself in the foot in a game that can already prove to be quite difficult. Alright, that was a lot of coal, and I'm not going to take it with me. I will instead leave it in here. I will take some of the coal, of course. Let's take 6 bits of coal. Still rather heavy, though. It's getting late, but that's fine. What I will do instead is take you and refuel you. FTL2, FTL harder. I kind of hope they don't make an FTL2. They've done what they needed to do, and they did it well. Wow, what a lovely day. In terms of food, well, you gain scent from the amount of food items you have. Not wow, that was still a lot of calories, and it's still got more calories. Crazy. What was I trying to say? It probably wasn't important. Yeah, smell is based on the number of food items you have, not the calorific value of them. Also, some things smell more than others. A raw fish stinks a lot more than a cooked bit of steak. So I'd rather have fewer items on me in terms of smell.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, most of that sticks, isn't it, Shepherd? I probably shouldn't grab these now. I should grab them on the way out. Since I'll never come back here, let's grab some Old Man Lichen. It's useful for getting rid of infection risk. If you have a full-blown infection, though, you need antibiotics, and I do not have... Wait, I keep antibiotics on me? I'm smarter than I thought. And I already thought I was really smart. To be fair, second one would probably be a letdown, and Salty is saying that's why you're kind of dreading Slay the Spire 2. Well, on the plus side, Slay the Spire 2 is going to be coming out in early access. Normally I don't say that's a plus side, but it means you're going to have ample warning as to how that game is going. Naturally, I'm not going to touch that game. I'm probably going to have a lot of people asking me for playing it in early access, but I have zero intention to do so. Don't know why I didn't pop the hood on this thing, considering I've already searched it. Normally I pop the hood on things to indicate that I've already checked it out. Come to think of it, we found another car where I was surprised, but, maybe I've not been diligent enough. Oh, hello. I've killed one wolf today. What about second wolf? No, there is no need for undue bloodshed. I never checked out that church, though. When I was in Desolation Point, one of my main priorities was getting out of Desolation Point. I wanted to dip in, grab the matches and anything that will help me survive a bit longer from Hibernia and the lighthouse. But other than that, I wasn't hanging around. I needed to go. Which is, in my opinion, absolutely what you should do on Interloper. You don't have the luxury of hanging around for... Oh god! Uh-oh. Well, I'm getting mauled. Get off of me! Ow, ow, ow. Immediate blood loss. Calm down. Bandage that up right now. Why wasn't I able to run? Was it because I had the bow out? I don't know. Tried to run but couldn't. And yeah, I know I've got infection risk. Don't worry about it. I just caught a deer as well. But where? Get out of here. Get out of here. Too steep? Maybe. Wouldn't have thought so, but maybe. Right, mag lens, and I have a lot of sticks. Let's get a fire going, and let's see if I can treat that infection.
Come on, little fire.
I'm well prepared for wolf struggles like that, but they can still be really bad. It's very chance-based. Somebody did a really good YouTube video detail... Oh god. Oh god, that scared me. Let's play a game of go away. You go away. See my fire, fear my fire, and go away. Holy moly, that was spooky. Yeah, somebody did a very good video detailing like everything you need to know about wolf encounters. And, you know, boiled down, they're pretty scary encounters to have. Make me some birch bark. I've already got 2 right here. Is there anything else to cook up while I'm here? Try and finish off what's left of this crummy little bit of meat. And I need to make a wound dressing if I don't have one already, and I don't. Yeah, look at that, infection risk already halfway up. So what we do is we go Old Man Beard dressing. I carry around lichen, but I don't make the wound dressing because I think the lichen is lighter somehow. So look at that, one bit of lichen weighs 10 grams. So if I take 30 grams of lichen and make it into one dressing, let's see what the dressing weighs. I got the dressing, and the dressing weighs 100 grams. Riddle me that. How goes the cooking? We have cooked and delivered one meal, and we are currently on our way to deliver the next meal. Could drink this birch bark for some healing after that rather nasty encounter. I'm going to make myself... Ooh, can I boil that tiny bit of water, please? Make myself a bit more water, if you please. And let's go... Wow, another big chunky... I'm getting incredible luck with the amount of meat that I find. Go and grab all of that. I think I can hear a wolf nearby. Yeah, I can even see it running around.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
You should not be here, Wolfiekins. Don't worry about it, he's scared of the fire. Well, maybe I should be a little worried about it. Water and water. Loads of meat united. I'll grab the feather while I'm at it. It's getting late and I'm getting tired, but the lighthouse is right over there. There's no good reason why I couldn't even, say, take a torch back to make myself safer. Should probably cook up a bit more meat, though. Don't want that fire to run out, and I didn't check how long is left on it. Oh! Okay, cancelled out of that because I was worried about my fire, but there we go. Hang on, did I not get any of that meat? I think I cancelled out of all of it somehow.
It's dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Truthfully, I don't trust this situation very much, but I do want this meat. I'm kind of greedy for it. Maybe the Old Man Beard is absorbing the red water of shepherds. Doesn't explain how it suddenly gains weight after we make it. Maybe it does. Burning, boiling, gooding. A little bit of a precarious position, but I like this. It's not like we've come to a preset point to do this. I made this campfire. This deer wasn't here before. It got chased here and mauled here. I use the term often, and I often forget what the term is, but I love how organic gameplay is in this game. I guess I can leave you with 100 grams of meat on you.
I'll do anything for a drink right now.
Remember, carcasses dream of being processed by me. Why is there no animation? I have that turned off. I can turn it back on, but this quality of life mod also includes somewhere here. Fishing, fire, food, difficulty, crafting. Here we go. Play harvesting animations. It's cute, and I liked seeing it the first few times, but you harvest animals a lot, and I got really sick of seeing the animation constantly, so I just turned it off. And this is using the quality of life mod made by Von Dougals. He's damn good at what he does. Alright, what about the rest of this meat? Should I just leave it here? I guess so. It might seem a little wasteful, but if I'm ever in trouble, I know I can come back here and get loads of meat and just hide out in Desolation Point, although such a situation is hard to imagine. Impossible, though. Give me the stuff that I've cooked. Give me this stuff back. And it is very... well, it's not very windy, is it? I don't trust getting back safely currently. Especially since I'm tired, so I'm going to take one of the torches that I forged. Because, well, you know, we cannot pull fires out of... we cannot pull torches out of fires on this mode. We have to make them ourselves. On the plus side, that means the torches we do make have 100% condition. On the downside, making torches is a pain. Also, there are some wolf tracks here. And even though it's snowing, we still see the wolf tracks, which means that they were fairly recent. The wolf is still on the prowl, sire. Desolation Point is another place where you think, oh, there's no way I can get lost here. Who could possibly get lost in Desolation Point? It's a fairly linear place. But you'd be amazed at just how easy it is. Why did I not pull out my bow when I pressed 2 there? I do have my bow, right? Yeah, I got my bow. And I didn't sprain my hand. I thought 2 defaulted to bow before it defaulted to stone, but oh well. I'm happier that the stone came out, because the bow takes longer to aim at the wolf. For example, have I already missed the turn off for the lighthouse? Also, were we meant to deliver the food to the Lonely Lighthouse or the Riker? The Riken. Okay. Works for me. Ah, now I remember what we need the Lonely Lighthouse for. The Lonely Lighthouse has the recipe. Also, how do I get that? I think I missed the turn off for it. This ain't great. I'm way overburdened here. I think this is the turn off for the lighthouse. Can you repair the bow? No. Once the bow breaks, it's gone. And as it takes condition damage, you just have to accept that. So you should have a backup bow. Especially when you make your first bow. After you use a little bit, you do want to very swiftly make a second bow. Because okay, there's no wolf tracks. The wolf is not along here. Let's get rid of our fire. Save our torch. It has a limited shelf life. Yeah, when you make your first bow and you use it, when it goes down to about 70-60%, make another bow. Because you are going to run through its condition very quickly when you have no archery skill. And you don't want to be stuck far away from your ability to make another bow when your bow snaps. And it can snap in really bad situations, like you fired 1 arrow into a bear, and it's still coming at you, or you fired 3 arrows into a moose. The moose will never bleed out, your bow is dead, you'll never kill the moose, and you're never getting those arrows back. So yeah, make a second bow. I'm currently on my second bow, but even though bow condition is down at the 40s or so, I don't feel pressured to make another bow just yet. But I might when I get back to Mystery Lake. I would love to not see the animations all the time. Do you have a link? I don't know. Von Dougals, are you there? Well, he might be. He might not be. Once I get inside, I'll see if I can grab it. That said, I'm not sure if it all works out of the box. Do you need additional files at this point? It's not really a mod made for everyone. It's a mod largely made for Von Dougals, and I'm kind of suckling at the teats of success there. We'll see what can be done, though. Right, did I leave anything here? Hey, I left oil here. Did notice I was using more oil than anticipated, so that's coming with me. I'm going to ditch my food here, except for this base. That's the one I want to eat first, because it's not very dense. Where is the... You know what, I can wait until daytime to find the recipe. Oh, here's a note left behind. We're not going to read it. Gosh, we were here so long ago. Right, never mind that. Out you go. Let's drink up and sleep up. But before I forget, and I'm very liable to forget, let's get the... Oh god, I shouldn't have opened my webpage. That was blindingly bright. TLD, Von Dougals, quality of life. There you go. It might not be immediately obvious how to use all the information there, but it is there. Right, we just slept. Let's have our 8 hours of sleep. Just drank. Let's have our 8 hours of sleep. Got to be very careful not to lose my well-fed bonus, but calories are no longer difficult to come by. Hey, there we go. And now that we're thirsty, I can eat this bass. Delicious. And that's a lot of weight dropped as well. And it is almost daytime. Let's sleep until it's fully daytime. And then go and find ourselves this recipe. There we go. So somewhere in here there is a recipe. I don't know where, but it's a vital recipe for fish cakes. Surely you'd think it was down at the kitchen area, but I'm already up here, so let us be thorough. Well, not so thorough that I break apart these crates, but thorough enough. I think early on somebody pointed out that I forgot to search that container. I'm vindicated that there's nothing inside. Oh. How dare I forget my pry bar. I swear if I find out that the recipe's inside one of those closed lockers, I'm gonna flip my way around and walk back to the nearest pry bar. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for the recipe to be up here. Holy moly, what?
This stuff will come in handy.
How did I miss that, and how did that ever spawn here? I have done a lot of interloper combings over Desolation Point spawn. I don't think I've ever found matches there. Did I leave those there? Supplies. Desolation Point. Okay, I made no note of Desolation Point, but Crivens. How are they still dry? It's a very good box. Must be waxed or something. Better question might be, how did they never blow away? They are the heaviest matches. Obsidian matches. Alright, eyes peeled, folks. No joke. I need this recipe. That table has a bit of cloth on it, but I'm not going to hack apart the whole table for just the cloth. In an Aurora, that radio will play music if you turn it on. I'm running out of potential places for this recipe. Oh, there we go! Crispy cakes of fish, traditional style and salty. Yum, yum, yum. There we go. And that allows us to cross off one more recipe. That's almost all of the skillets done. It's just the Bleak Inlet Cannery Dockworker pie that's needed. And this, sadly, is a sign that I do need to go to Forsaken Airfield, much as I do not want to, and I really don't want to. Where are those fish cakes, anyway? Yum, yum, yum. We need, oh god, 2 potatoes. Potatoes are in high demand. We need rainbow trout raw, not cooked. Not a lot of cooking oil, and not a lot of salt. 10 grams of salt. That's not even half a cup of salt. Okay, okay. Still surprisingly heavy. What am I so heavy with? I already ditched the coal. I'll be a little lighter when I drop off a bunch of this food. I do have quite a lot of sticks and 6 bits of coal and a reasonable amount of birch bark, but I still feel unusually heavy. Heavy or not, I'm going to take this meat. I don't think I'll eat it on the way over and beachcomb the way back. That said, there's no need to take absolutely everything that I find beachcombing. Ooh, golly gosh, that's whiteout almost. But the Riker is right there, so let's just mosey our way over. Just butt slide down, Shepherd. Your fat ass can handle it. Wolves over there can already smell me, but that's okay. This ice is strong enough, there's no risk of falling in. You'd have to go way over to the edge to risk that. There is a bear and a possible moose here in Desolation Point as well. I have no desire to hunt either of them. Hey, look at that. I'm getting closer to my destination, but it's fading out of view. This is so good. Name a game that does better weather effects than Long Dark. Yeah, this is instantly evolved into a blizzard. It suddenly feels like minus 34. However, amazingly, the wind is at my back. I can run with the wind and actually get some good speed going. Normally when the wind kicks in, I swear the game knows the way you're going and just goes against you. But yeah, I'm determined not to turn. I don't want to lose sight of, there we go, the Ravine. Now it feels like minus 41, and it's getting colder, so could we please get inside, Shepard?
Freezing.
Alright, there we go. Alright, sheltered from the blizzard. It feels like 22 degrees in here. That is that's as warm as it is in my home right now. Then again, I'm in a t-shirt. Shepard is wearing 2 bears and 2 sweaters. 2 hats, 2 thermals, 2 trousers, additional insulation, 2 socks, and I would be sweating up a storm in that. As we say, Shepard, it's taps aff. So we were here long ago. In a fairly desperate early situation. I don't think I had light. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's stuff here that wasn't searched. I couldn't pull torches. I don't think I had the gubbins for making torches. Gubbins just means the materials or the makeup of something. But yeah, we used this to make water, as I recall. It was coal that we used here. It seems like I left nothing behind for future me. Can't believe I was so selfish. That's not like me. A Scottish June for you, not far off. The weather was miserable almost all the days that I was home.
This'll come in handy.
It won't, Shepard. Just... yeah. It's only 100 grams, I guess, but it's completely unnecessary. Maybe I'll leave it over at the Hibernia. There's truly nothing here. What I want to do is rest up here a tiny little bit, just to the point where I'm warm. Not even sleep, just pastime. There we go. Swelteringly hot now. And let's put our meal out here in the Ravine. It'd be quite nice to actually get my screenshot during the blizzard. Let's go right up to Captain's quarters. If we can call this. I don't think he slept in here. Maybe he slept on this thing. But, right. No time to waste. We are here on Desolation Point, and it's Summit Soda, maple syrup, and 6 pancakes. So... Summit Soda. A drink of maple syrup. And 6 pancakes. Boy, this guy knows what he likes, and he likes what he knows. Would you calm down, Shepard? You're fine. Always moaning. That's all she knows how to do is moan, moan, moan. Maybe she's British. There we go. There we go, there we go. Was that truly it? Man, those pancakes are packing a lot of punch for this meal. What's a good angle for this?
I can't feel my hands.
If I move the Summit Soda down over to here... yeah, there we go. That steering wheel is annoyingly blocking things. Yeah, there we go. I want to catch more of the blizzard. There we go.
It's too cold to think.
2 meals down. God knows how many to go. This is a weird restaurant theme. Titanic IHOP. It's a vanity project for the manager. Okay, well, it's horrible out there, and I really don't want to be out there. I don't know if this blizzard is going to pass if I just try and snooze it off, but I could try. This time we will actually take a quick nap, just for 1 hour. I know what that's like. I did it this morning. My alarm went off at 7:30. I went, yeah, nah. Slept till 8:30, and then realized, oops, I needed that time. I was meant to go shopping and paying my taxes. I did neither. Can we have a bonus meal at the coal mine? 1 bannock, 5 coal, 1 box of painkillers, the miner's breakfast? We cannot. Because if I start adding to this, I'm never going to stop. Plus, as you've seen, bannocks are a cause for headache. It's probably not good out there. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to be out in this. That said, I don't want to sleep the good part of the day away, insofar as you can call this the good part of the day. I'm not even going to bother going all the way upstairs, just sleep right here. We'll have a good view of the outdoors. Eat that, drink that. Think about... Okay, I'm doing good in getting that health back. It felt like health regen was a lot slower at the start of the game, but I think now I'm able to keep my bars high for long enough that we can't passively regain a lot of damage that we take. Alright, much better. Practically tops off weather now, so let's make our way over to the Riker. Not the Riker, the Hibernia processing plant. So is that really meant to mean the Ireland processing plant? Funnily enough, after I played Caesar 3 yesterday, I did something rather unusual and I loaded up Crusader Kings 3. After playing on the British Isles in Caesar 3, felt overcome with a desire to actually play some British Isles in CK3. So naturally I played as Maury, and the game is just so easy. Why is there no hard mode? Difficulty settings only goes very easy, easy, normal. And it's just so easy to do anything in that game. And it feels like the only stuff that's been added is just events, 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 so I'm not interested in events. I don't like where that game's going development-wise, but clearly I'm not the target audience for what they're doing here. Hello, Wolfie friend. You are in just the right place to cause me problems, so I'm going to give you a wide berth and take another approach into Hibernia. Yeah, I could just shoot him. Got 100 ways of dealing with them, but sometimes avoidance is the best strategy. You can also find bears around Hibernia. It's not a safe place to be overall. More vampire giants. Well, my usual go-to is to immediately procreate with a genius and try and get the genius trait going, so naturally I had a genius child, and he immediately died. Didn't even reach 1 year old and he died. And we have not popped out a genius since. Ooh, that marine flare early on would have been a real nice find. Upsy daisy. Now I'm confident I've already searched all of this stuff, but I know I spent quite a bit of time early on in Hibernia itself, and surely I would have left some goodies for future Jake. I wouldn't have been so greedy as to not. Do I even want those wires? I don't think I do, but let's bring them inside. Playing CK2 in Scotland is fun. No income, no army, all you have are rocks, and more rocks to chew on. Well, you're tribal, development doesn't matter for income, you just make decent enough money. CK, in my opinion, is all about finding things that either give flats or multiples and working them to your advantage. For example, if your income is crap, become the, what is it, the Chancellor? I don't know, the money guy for your overlord, and hey, suddenly you have flat money coming in, and that's a lot better than multiplying the little that you do have. I know, it's very easy to do anything in that game. But maybe that's the point, just want to sit back and enjoy it, unite the UK. Maybe try and steer Catholicism through some grim times.
I'll take it.
I will actually take that at this point. All these locked lockers, and of course I didn't bring my blessed pry bar. At least that's 1 kilo of weight I'm saving myself. I strongly recall dropping all my items next to this bed whilst doing all my thingamajiggers. I left myself some painkillers. Oh, there's a cured gut even. Can't say I have much use for that. Somebody in the VOD, as I recall, pointed out that there was something that I missed in here, and I believe it was a little corner place that sometimes has the bedroll. I did not have the luxury or liberty to go and check behind this back then, but I can do so now. There's very little stopping me. We'll just take our hatchet and smash this apart, checking that I have the calories, the time, the everything. Yeah, let's get to work. Get chopping. Get chopping some more. It's going to give me a lot of wood. And there was a pistol. Huh. That means I now have 2 pistols and 0 shells. The distress pistol remaining the only usable item that I don't have yet because I have no shells for it. I'm not going to chalk it off just because I have the gun. Gun's no good without ammunition. That's not entirely true. I played Mission Impossible for the PS1. You can find an empty gun and threaten people with it. But this is not Mission Impossible. This is The Long Dark. I recall having a lot of trouble with that game on the PS1, but I have not played it in, I don't know, 25 years? Right. I don't actually think I want to sleep here. I need to start making my way back already. There's nothing in here for me. We have delivered the goods. We took a screenshot of the goods. Well, the foods, that is. Still a little overladen. I'm not thrilled about that. But if I eat up and drink up, that'll lower my weight a touch. And there's no need to leave supplies here because this isn't somewhere I ever intend to come back to. We grabbed the recipe, we delivered the goods. There is a forge here, and forges make for excellent places to go to, but the better forge location, indeed the best forge location in my humble and correct opinion, is Forlorn Muskeg. It's an outdoor forge, so it burns for longer, it doesn't give you cabin fever. It's just in an all-round excellent condition. Whoa. Oh, he's taken off, isn't he? Do I beachcomb on the way back or not? Life offers us such delicious choices. I think I will beachcomb on the way back. I might find some more cured leather or other items of interest. Besides being out on the ice, you can see... Okay, I was going to say, you can see the wolves coming from a mile away, but the feeling is mutual. Yeah, hopefully I'll finally find some flares. Heavens knows we've been hurting for sources of ignition. And if you are, for example, German, and that joke flies over your head, the joke is that we have been tripping over sources of ignition in this game. I've never found so many flares and matches in all my runs. Not that I've done a lot of runs in this game, but elaborating on that ruins the joke. Bit of a sparse beachcombing experience right now. But I actually think the game has predetermined points where it spawns beachcombing goods. Ice is starting to crack under there, no need to tempt it. If you're too anxious about the ice falling out from under you, wear crampons when you go beachcombing. It affords you an extra second of the ice going beneath your feet. That'll make it a lot more comfortable for, say, having to open a locker whilst standing on ice. And always be ready with the escape button. Oh god, I know why I'm so heavy. I've got all this reclaimed wood for no good reason. And it really is no good reason. I should have ditched it ages ago, but I didn't. Come on, I don't need a stick. Don't pick up the bleeding sticks. It's not flying over my head, Jake. It's just not that funny. It wasn't meant to be a funny joke. Scrap metal, unnecessary. Sticks, unnecessary. Painkillers. Well, somebody wanted the miner's breakfast, right? A fish. A 4.6 kilo fish. I don't think that's worth my time. It's just going to slow me down, and I have plenty of calories as it is. Could have eaten it raw, but that would have a very high chance of food poisoning. raw fish in this game. I don't think it's as bad as raw meat for food poisoning, and meats are different as well. I think raw rabbit is less dangerous than, say, raw wolf. But even so, food poisoning is pretty debilitating for about 10 to 12 hours, so why risk it? In fact, we lost a huge amount of health early on in this run because I accidentally got food poisoning, and then I followed it up by accidentally going to sleep without taking the antibiotics. I took 1 dose of antibiotics, but I need to take another because I thought, oh well, why don't we just get all the food poisoning out of the way? That brought me down to 15% condition, so I was ready to die. But I didn't die. This run has been a good one. Is that the sun coming out? No. Yeah, I believe those were low condition sardines. I think you're right there. Another fish. Is it another base? Oh. It was a salmon. Wow. Man, you are beastly. I almost want to take you with me. He says, actively taking it with him. Big stinky fish though. I'm not sure I can justify it. I think this is where we got our first matches. We found matches on that corpse, meaning I think there's 3 or 4 boxes of matches here. The ruin description doesn't matter? Not really. We have a bit of time, so I'll dump it here and talk about it. So this is at 0% and ruined. If I ate it raw, it would almost definitely give me food poisoning. If you cook something, you add 50% condition to it. So if I cooked it, it would go up to 50%, and then it would have a medium chance of poisoning me. However, I have the coveted level 5 cooking skill because I've cooked up, I don't know, 350 meals, which also includes reheating cups of tea. Yeah, the game's strange like that. And that means that any cooked food I can eat without risk of poisoning or parasites, as long as it's cooked. Taking that cedar. So if I cooked that fish and ate it, there would be no downsides to its pathetic condition now. Eating food that's going to give you food poisoning isn't much of a big deal if you have antibiotics and you plan on sleeping anyway. So if you just want to really load up on calories, you can eat stuff that you know is going to give you food poisoning and then just chug your medicine and go to sleep. Early game, that might be quite viable. Late game, there's no reason you should do that. Because late game, why would you not be able to just cook it up? I don't know, maybe you know. Desolation Point. It's a relatively small area. Very clean cut with only a few landmarks. Oh, that's right, I wanted to check out the church. I don't think there's anything of value in the church. I'll be kicking myself if I don't check it out. Let's double back that way then. I don't smell too much. Although we know there are wolves here, they're going to notice me. There is also a cave around here that I don't often go into. It has a wolf in it, a very rare indoor animal, but I think there are 2 caves with wolves in it and 1 cave with an animal in it, with a rabbit in it. No indoor locations have bears or mooses, unless you mod them in, you can do that. Or spawn them in using developer console. F1 for developer console, but only if you have the game modded, because for some reason the developers of this game just hate mods. Getting pretty good luck with spooking the animals. He just took off because he could smell that I was covered in bear, and wolves... Wolves bolt if there is a bear or a moose nearby. Bolt, I mean they run away. So you can actually use a bear as protection against wolves, particularly timber wolves. Uh-oh. Oh, that went wrong. Alright, alright. Pretty good. Pretty good. I was very close to using the flare, but I got very greedy and decided that I didn't want to waste the flare. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my meat out there, and I'm going to consider sleeping for 1 hour. Do I want to? I don't know, it's pretty light and good conditions out. I shouldn't waste the time right now. I'm more thinking about the opportunity to warm up. I'll do it, I'll do it. I very seldom sleep in a car. Funnily enough, sleeping in a car removes or reduces your cabin fever. So you don't like being stuck in a lovely, nice house with all your fineries and baubles. But Shepard is more than happy to stay cooped up inside a very slimmed down version of the Normandy SR2. I would forget the name of Shepard's spaceship if it weren't for our run of Motorsport Manager, thanks to Normandy SR Racing. God, Motorsport Manager was so much fun. When can we find another game like that? I'm always on the hunt for games where we can put in community members. Doubly so if they can somewhat autonomously look after themselves. Where is the wolf that's stalking me? I think it's that one behind me, but I swear I heard one in front of me. Why did I take this distress pistol? I don't want a distress pistol, and I have one back home already. I think I'll leave it in concept. Wolf's gonna get that, You know what? Vengeance! Vengeance for the bunny! Go away. Don't worry, bunnykins, I'll put you to rest.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Funny, I couldn't right-click interact with it until I left-clicked interact with it there. What a church.
Feels like night is coming.
There we go. Patron saint of this church is now Rabbitykins. You can rename in Dominions and then ban people if their unit dies. I saw one Aussie doing that. Wow, Aussies. Is there any madness they won't stoop to? You know what? I will take that sewing premiere. Mending is a difficult skill to level up. It's one of the few things I actually recommend reading books for. Any sewing kit and level 1 fishing. That's what you should read for. Nothing else is worthwhile. Cooking books, the harvesting books. Can't speak for the gun books because there are no guns in Ultraloper difficulty. There we go, I have to believe in a miracle that bunny will get up again. I mean, they won't. When an animal catches a bunny, they usually just break its little bones. So even if it's not dead, it's certainly not going to be moving again. I've contemplated getting a pet bunny. I haven't had a pet in a long, long time. Well, ever since I moved out, really, and even then it was family pets. Well, I had my fish, I suppose. And Abaddon the hamster. But my lifestyle doesn't really suss around having pets. Just be nice to have something cute and cuddly around the house. Well, more so than me. We've already renamed in Dominions, though. Although, did I check to see if that mod works in Dominion 6? I think I did, and I think it does. But yes, renaming in Dominion 6 is... Well, I need the hunger for Dominions to come back. Currently the hunger has subsided. It is growing, but the main problem is that my beloved randomization mod for Dominions 5 doesn't work for Dominion 6. And nobody's working on it, so it's not something I can expect to get at some point. Which is very sad, because as many races as Dominions has, I prefer unlimited randomized races. Because it gets a point where you're just like, oh, I'm fighting Ulm and Makone and Abyssia. Okay, well, I already know what to expect from this run. I think I've come too far down. I guess maybe it's a different story in multiplayer, but I prefer Dominion's single player. Big strategy games in multiplayer, especially when they're drawn out over long periods of time, I find they're just a bit too a bit too discomforting. I want to be able to enjoy games, my pace, my leisure. When you roll other people into the mix and it takes multiple days of commitment and orchestrating, nah. If it's a short and punchy thing, like if you're sitting down playing Mario Party together, oh hell yes, sign me up, but long strategy campaigns, perhaps less so. Anyway, pick up the pace, Shepherd, it's getting chilly out here. When's the next long play vote? I don't know. I need to organise that. You'd think I would have thought about that during my travels, but I did not. I was mostly thinking, when is my kilt ready so I can go back to Hungary? I bet it's a lot nicer at Balaton right now. I shouldn't say that. My mother does tune into my streams every now and then. She'd be horrified to hear that.
Warming up a bit.
I mean, I was joking to a lot of people that were around. Oh, what's it like being back home? Oh, yeah, it's great. I can't wait to be leaving, though. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, but seriously, though. When do I leave? Right, we are already fairly overburdened. I've got coal here, but I've also got coal over on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and see how much of this beloved black gold I can bring back with me. Dominion's multiplayer is weird, says Horundi. Being free-for-all with lots of backstabbing, I don't get the appeal. I don't like free-for-all Dominions. I like player versus enemy multiplayer Dominions Blitz. So Blitz means you're doing it in one session, generally. And player versus enemy means you don't have to constantly be thinking about human interactions and alliances. I really don't like those in strategy games. Because it's drawing you away from the strategy of the game and bringing it on into strategic manipulation of real people. Now that is fun. That is absolutely fun, but not when coupled with a game. I don't want to mix the two. Manipulating real people in the real world is great fun. Manipulating strategy in a game is great fun, but mixing them both together, it's hello. Hidden coal. It's the difference between laughing at an old lady falling down the stairs and actively pushing the old lady down the stairs yourself. You can still laugh at both of them, but you're a lot more involved in one, and it gets a lot more messy. Alright, finding even more coal. I'll really need to triage what I have. We've picked up, let me think, oil, additional meat. Calories are looking okay. We'll figure it out on the other side. Welcome back, says Therion. I'm sure you've been asked, but was it a good trip? It was a trip, and I got done what I needed to do. It was nice to see some friends and family that I have not seen in years. But overall, I am so glad to be out of Britain, and I don't know when or if I'll ever return. A really big positive of the trip, though, was it was my first time properly being in northern England. I was in Middlesbrough and the surrounding cities and villages. I suppose it would be towns and villages. And I really liked what I see. They never talk about how nice the north of England is. It's always like, oh, rough backward folk. They all speak funny and eat funny, and the clouds are thick with smoggy folk, and it's run-down, multi-generational unemployment, da-da-da. I thought it was lovely. Maybe that's why, but I did really enjoy my time up and around Middlesbrough. And my friend, who's a Middlesbrough diehard, born and raised, and for some reason still there, thinks I'm mad for liking what I saw, but I cannot tell those lies. Let me think. Time-wise, it's already quite dark. I'm going to pass more time making some additional birch bark. Or rather, prepared birch bark. Sounds like an improvement on Scotland. I would dare to say yes. Northern England was an improvement on Scotland, much of Scotland. Alright, what else are we doing? Crisps and jerky. Those are probably more calorifically dense than my meat, aren't they? 1 kilo being 1,000 calories, or 100 grams being, yeah, that's 3 times the calorific density of some venison. That explains why I'm always so unsatisfied eating a bag of crisps. So yeah, meat first, jerky and crisps later. Well, they are salty buggers, aren't they? Anything else I can do whilst I'm just sitting huddling in the dark? Yeah, I wanted to triage my goods. What do I have that I can leave behind? Ah, yeah, how about 3, 8, 9 kilograms of wood? I don't need all that back. But I could drag it to concept. There's really no need to, is there? No, I should absolutely do this so I can see what I'm playing around with. Grab all this coal.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yeah, you'll be fine, Shepherd. And then, whilst I look at this locker, go to my burnables, and I want to leave behind a reasonable amount of coal, but I don't want to keep some on me. Like, keep 10 on me? That's still pretty heavy, but I certainly don't need all these sticks. And I absolutely don't need any of that reclaimed wood.
So crazy right now.
And just like that, my weight situation looks a lot better. Let's chow down on the venison until we are full as full can be. Yum, 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 yum. And I mean truly full. Hey Jake, long time YouTube lurker here, says SDR93. Glad I could finally catch a stream live. Well, welcome. I don't know if you're going to be that glad much later on. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, always good to tune into that stream where we're sitting in a dark room looking at nothing. Let's place down that bedroll, and we have eaten and drank, so let's take our 8 hours of sleep. We suddenly got an aurora. Kind of a shame that happened when I started going to sleep, because I could have used that aurora light to repair my aviator hat. Eat more. Drink more. What a life. I'm from north of England, says Ubiquitous, and it's got amazing countryside. Yeah, it does. That's the thing they never talk about. Never talk about just how glorious the countryside is in northern England, and there's loads of it. Went over to a lovely beach, I forget which one. I mean, there's plenty of them up there. Was around Middlesbrough, was around... I forget the names of them. There were some smaller towns in that they were farting around in. But he knew the place inside out, so he was showing me around. Right, Aviator Cap, I love you, and I have not taken good care of you. I will now take good care of you. I'm not pressed on time, so I'm going to use my fishing tackle to take care of this. Hopefully I don't ruin the leather. There we go. Looking spick and span, giving me a massive amount of warmth bonus. I love the Aviator Cap. And it's interesting because in my opinion the Aviator Cap and Wooltook combo is better than using the Rabbit Hat. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. Which means you can dedicate all your rabbit resources to your mittens, which is good because these things fairly take damage, don't they? And do I still have those boots I picked up? I do. These are 1 kilogram of wasting my time, so I'm going to spend a staggering hour and a half tearing them apart in the dark with my bare hands. Shepherd is just that much more manly than you. And I want to be full of everything for getting out of here, so let's eat up, sleep up, and get moving. Alright, looking good. In fact, getting through all of that, tearing apart the boots, eating the food, drinking the water, got rid of about 5 kilograms of added weight, so I'm actually at liberty to take back more of this coal. I think coal is the higher priority out of all this stuff. I could even take all of this coal. Yeah, hell, give me all this coal. And if I still have space to burn, why don't I take some reclaimed wood and some additional sticks? Well, because I don't want to be overweight, so I'm sure I'll find more sticks if I need them. Let's go. It's lovely and warm. We're in great condition. Since we're underweight, we can move fairly quickly. Well, underweight, I mean, I enjoy weightlifting, but I think I would be struggling wandering around with 44 kilos of weight strapped to my back. So that's heavier than some people. It's almost as heavy as Vegeta. What's Vegeta again? He's like 4'10" and 56 kilos. Oh, tears in the rain. Yes, this is the place that I was in before. Oh, and there's the dead wolf. complete with all his dead wolf burgers. Thinking about it, I did ditch a lot of food. Maybe I want to bring some dead wolf burger with me. It's going to make me a little stinky. Well, it's going to make me a lot stinky, but let's be ready for the journey back. So I'm already overweight again, but what you going to do? If we find an opportunity to cook this sucker up, we'll cook this sucker up. One foot of that height is just the hair on Vegeta, not to mention the hair weight. Who's your favourite Dragon Ball Z character? Mine is Android 16. I've got a real soft spot for Sacrifice, thanks to Terranigma. The game really moulded who I am. Well, quite fortunate that despite carrying around some dead dog, I'm not attracting the attention of more dog. Might seem a little unnecessary, but I'm going to take a stop in here just to rest up. Mostly to warm up. No point taking any cold damage that I can avoid. You like Cell. Which cell? Maybe all the cells. Perfect Cell was pretty damn cool. Oh, and his theme tune was great. But I liked how spooky Imperfect Cell was. Really set a pretty dark tone on Dragon Ball Z. I'm not a huge fan of anime, but come on, everyone's seen Dragon Ball Z. Patrician Taste 16 was great. I actually picked up a Dragon Ball Z fighting game. The kind of game I would never pick up, because it looked like you could play as all the Dragon Ball characters. And I thought, oh man, I don't care how bad this game is, I want to play through as Android 16. Only to find he wasn't on the roster. Oh man. They put Mr. Satan on the roster, but they didn't put Android 16. The hell did Satan do for the world? We don't talk about the Boo saga, because that saga, well, I stopped watching after Cell. Yeah, Gohan's pretty cool. Master Roshi, yeah, the older you get, the more you appreciate Master Roshi. There we go. Fairly simple pass through Crumbling Highway, and we should never have to go this way again unless I need to grab those Bardaks and... Banaks. In case I need to grab the Banaks and replace them with plain Banaks. Which is not impossible. I could very easily run out of acorns on this run. Now, Jake, don't you remember? Satan is the one who defeated Cell whilst all the Z-Fighters ran and hit. Yeah, they thank me, they're on their way. Hail Satan. Hang on, Fighter Z has Android 16. Which Dragon Ball fighting game did you actually buy? Oh, it would have been about 10 years ago, so... whichever one came out about 10 years ago. I need Bardaks, but on the low setting for natural resources, they're very rare to come across. Some people want Bardic tea as part of their meal. Never tried Bardic tea in real life, but also never tried rosehip tea. I had the opportunity to. Oh, I was in a family cafe in Japan and they had rosehip tea. It was one of those all-you-could-drink setups, but no, fool as I was, I said, Mizu kudasai. Mizu will be fine. Coastal Highway. I've spent so much time here on my Ultraloper shopkeeper run. On the Ultraloper run, I was not allowed indoors, although the rating for what is and is not considered indoors was left to some arbitrary decisions. But one place that I was absolutely allowed in was the Concept. Hang on, what do we have over here? There's a dead corpse, but this seems kind of out of the way for a Scripted deer corpse. Never watched Dragon Ball Z, says Octanian. I'm from Eastern Europe. It never aired here. Wow. When I was older, I was into Naruto. Wow. Visually looked much more interesting to me. Okay, well, I've never seen Naruto, so I can't truly judge. I'm not big on anime in general, though. What was the last one I even watched? I watched Kill La Kill. I did enjoy Kill La Kill. But generally, I would much prefer to read a manga than watch an anime. Dungeon Meshi had its anime, probably is actively having its anime, but I'm not interested. I read it, it was great. Don't want to sully that experience with an anime. I spy Lord Barrington. Lord Barrington should count his luck that I have no need for his... Do I have no need? Yeah, no need for his pelts. If my jacket were down at maybe 60% condition, I'd consider getting myself a fresh new Lord Barrington to reinforce it with. But it's at 85, and they're very slow to take damage, so we should be a-okay. I prefer anime to manga, says Harundi, mostly because I find manga to not really be any better than reading a book. LOL, I find it much better. I'm not constantly yawning when I read a manga, that's for sure. And I find it's a lot easier to pick up and put down a manga, which I increasingly find valuable for my entertainment. Because sometimes I just want to do something else, or sometimes I've got something else going on. I just like the flexibility. Or I'm on a flight, and oh, the flight's coming down. Okay, well at least I can close this and put it down. I don't want to pause in the middle of watching something. Would we call Archer an anime? I watched a fair bit of Archer. Had to stop though, I felt like I was becoming a worse person as I watched it. It was funny, but very cruel stuff. He could have gone for me, but he took a whiff of my bear jacket and decided better of it. Oh boy, they've surrounded me. Cool. Bolt. These are certainly smarter dogs than the one we saw earlier. Is the moose loose? Gotta be careful. If I turn a corner and suddenly get greeted by a moose, that's some instant broken ribs for me. The moose doesn't actually do too much damage to you, but the rib breaking is otherworldly levels of horrific. Takes a very long time to repair and debilitates you for a couple of weeks. Oh well. Well, Dennis. Get that going and we're good to go, because Conset is a lovely place to be. This allows me to quickly check. I want to bring back everything I can here. There's no good reason to leave these oats or oils. I have a lot of soup. I can't imagine needing to bring back more soup, but I could be kind enough to leave... Oh wow, I got no real water. Huh, well, I guess I'm not leaving water supplies for me, but I should at least leave something to eat. Alright, here's a sloppy bit of venison, and maybe some desperation drink if I come crawling back here. But I can't imagine needing to be here for any reason. Alright. Okay, all seems well. I'm going to open the door and close the door, and hopefully Dennis can go live, because you see, this was a trap. You have fallen for my elegant trap here. Yeah, sure, I want to be playing Long Dark, and I'm happy to be back at it after spending some horrific time back in the UK, but really, you've been baited into watching Nancy Drew. Not by me, though. I did my time in the mines 2 days ago. It's time for Dennis Wolf to show us how it's done. Just let me know when you're live, and we'll be good to go. For this run, though, that's 2 of these things done, so I better cross them off. The joke's on you, he wants it. Do they really? What I can do is I can go down to Desolation Point. Boy, some of these have got some nice fruitful writing here. Cattail Stock Delicacy. Wilderness Bannocks. Oh man, don't get me started on Bannocks. The Desolation Point is Desolation done. Crumbling Highway is Crumbling done. You know, I could go for a McDonald's Big Breakfast, but they don't do them quite right over here in Hungary, at least not in the place that I have here. What do we do next up? Short-term plans done. Deliver, collect Desolation Point. I'll need to come up with the next things that we do on this run. Is that going to be tomorrow? I think that's what the schedule says. Whether or not we believe the schedule varies from person to person, no doubt.